afternoon, physics peeps, and welcome! First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Franchesca Tortoza, and I am from BS Physics 2-1.
And I am Saure from BS Physics 3-1. And once again, it is our pleasure to be the Masters of Ceremony for the last day of Code Up, a Python and LaTeX workshop.
First of all, we would like to start this program with a short prayer led by Saure.
So, first, let us all bow our heads and feel the loving presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. Dear Lord God, thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We are truly grateful for all of the things that you provided for us. Thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another. May you extend our divine wisdom to our speakers so that they will be able to impart effectively their God-given knowledge to all of us. May they be blessed as they continue to bring their expertise to people who need them. Bless the participants as well present in this event so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity. May you bestow your blessings after this workshop so that we may go out and spread what we learned in the spirit of your love and generosity. We ask this all in your loving name. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
So again, we would like to greet everybody from the Zoom participants to those who are watching in our Facebook Live. We would like to greet everyone a great afternoon. Thank you for spending your time with us and being with us in this program. And in just like the previous days, we hope that this day will be a fruitful and educational one for everyone. So starting off, good afternoon, partner. I hope you are feeling very well. How are you feeling?
Of course, I'm feeling very well today. Of course, we will learn a lot of new things from our speaker. And of course, I'm actually feeling quite sad because I still want to learn more about Python. So how about you, Franchesca? How are you feeling today?
It's the same in a way. I'm very excited for this day because it promises to be a very interesting one. But in the same vein, I feel like I want to learn more about it. And so I'm probably going to put that as a priority even after the workshop to learn more about what we learned today and in the previous days.
It's great.
With that aside, I'm sure everyone is as excited as we are to listen to the speakers today. So without further delay, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker. She is a third-year student of Bachelor of Science in Physics at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. She is one of the selected students who got admitted into a mentoring program provided by the Association of Filipino Scientists in America last November 2020 to February 2021. She is also one of the youngest data science and analytics students who passed Escuelab's Data Science Fellowship in January 2020. Also, she is the first Filipina to join the Girl Empowerment Program for African Front-End Development, which runs for 12 weeks in May to July 2021. She is a grantee of the Data Camp Scholarship for the Data Science Specialization that covers SQL, R programming, Python, and Power BI in 12 weeks. Currently, she is also a fellow researcher at the Society of Academic Research in STEM and is a freelance science and mathematics tutor and a student with accredited courses in finance, marketing, machine learning, software engineering, and artificial intelligence. Giving us the discussion titled, Want to Practice Datasets? Use Webplot Digitizer? Please warmly welcome Ms. Armielyn Obinguar with a virtual applause.
All right. Thank you so much, Franchesca, for that wonderful words. Allow me to share my screen. All right. So, yeah. Am I audible? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, but
all right. So, okay. So let me share my screen. I think I am not allowed to share my screen. Can you help me? All right. Yeah, I can seem to share my screen. Can you please help me with this? Okay. I am not yet. All right. I can't seem to see. All right. Let me before we just start. Hello. All right. I'm still at, all right. So you can help me with this since I'm not. I think it's disabled. All right. Mm-hmm. Wait, let me ask. All right, I'm not still I can still share my screen. Can yeah, please allow me to. All right.
Okay na daw po, pakitry po ulit.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So let's start. Okay. So let me share. Okay. Okay. So see, um, I will be teaching about this Webplot digitizer. So without further ado, okay, let me introduce myself first before that. So again, I'm also a third year student. So this is just a brief introduction about me. So yeah. Okay. So let's start. All right. So, what are the contents of our workshop for today? So the first thing is, where can we find dataset? Okay. The second is, what is Webplot Digitizer and what are the features of Webplot Digitizer? Benefits of using Webplot Digitizer and who can use Webplot Digitizer? And then the final note. All right. So let's start. The question here is, where can we find data sets? So that's the problem that we're looking for a solution, right? That's why you're here and why are we introducing this software, right? Since the question, in yeah, that's a question, but there's another question right there. So is it easy to access data in the Philippines, right? So actually, the answer for that is no. Why? Because again, based on our experience, okay, it takes a lot of weeks and months for you to have copy of your data, right, from the agencies, right, or from the governments. Okay, so it takes a lot of time for you to have it. And second one is it's not convenient for practice use. Okay, so the second thing is that it's not convenient. So the data that you're gonna be requesting from the agencies, the government, right? It's for the research purposes. Okay, it's not allowed to make it public. That's why written there. It's confidential and not open to the public. And next is it's for research purposes. If you like to practice, then that's not the right data that you have to use. Okay. So next is it's only limited and not customized for your preferred use of practice. So if you wanted to practice, there's should be another rating, right? So therefore, it's not easy to access data. Why is it easy to get? So these are all the reasons why it's not easy. Okay, so let's proceed. So that's why we're introducing the Webplot digitizer. So what is this Webplot digitizer? So actually, yeah, before we introduce that, are you familiar with this Webplot digitizer? Okay, can you thumbs up if you are familiar, or if not, then you can use other reactions. All right, so yes. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of reactions. All right. So since it's not familiar for you, or some of you are familiar with it, let me explain again. All right. So what is this Webplot digitizer? So the features, okay, it's a free open source web-based tool. So for example, the LaTeX is just an of free as open source, just like this Webplot digitizer. So the second there is it works with a wide variety of charts. Okay, so if you wanted to try it for the scatter plot, line plots, or other kinds of graphs or images, it's you can actually use it on Webplot digitizer. And the third is partial automation. So as you extract data from the website, you can either customize the color or you can customize whether the features or either you wanted to specify the correct data, right? So that's what's good about this web software. Okay, so therefore, this Webplot digitizer is fun for an easy data extractions. So it's 5 minutes, right? You can actually extract data, right? So if you're wondering, is it really fun? All right, so we will just show it later. All right, so okay, so what are the features of Webplot digitizer? So I will be showing you the this one, the PowerPoint from the creator of the Webplot digitizer. So this is the guy who actually made this thing possible. now that we have a Webplot digitizer. All right, so that's Ankit Rohatgi. He is the creator of the Webplot digitizer. So first is, what is the workflow of this Webplot digitizer? The first thing is you have to open the Webplot, the website, right? And as you open it, as you launch it, there will be a load image. So you have to insert the image. So the thing about the Webplot digitizer is you will be able to put the images that you like to extract. So that means the image, any image, is it a dog or whatever you prefer. Next, as you load the image, you will be calibrating it. You have to indicate the correct X and Y. You have to make sure that you put the correct values of that. So yeah, Mr. Dr. Nane was able to send the link. So if you want to visit it, you can actually go for it. All right, so there's actually two process for the upload digitizer. You can be able to do the automatic or the adjust. So for the automatic, you're able to specify the color range, or you're able to choose what you like to the color, or you have to specify the parameters, the distances, or everything. All right, so the adjust, okay, you will be doing it like step by step. So you will not be just like the automatics, it's 5 minutes. For the adjust, it took you like an hour or more, right? So that's the difference. But the thing here is we have to choose the automatic, right? So for us to get it fast, right? So next is, as you choose whether what process you would like, you will have the visual inspection. So we will be showing you later that. And then as you inspect the data you like to do, the Webplot digitizer will give you a digitized data. So that's it. That's the workflow of the Webplot digitizer. All right. So I hope that it's clear for everyone of how we can use it. All right. So if it's clear, kindly thumbs up. All right. Yes. Okay. So this is an example. Okay. This is are the examples that you can use on the Webplot digitizer. You can actually use the X-ray charts. Right. From here, you're seeing the X and Y. As you load the image there, you will have to calibrate. So you have to make it specific. Like for example, here in the first chart here, you have to indicate your X. So you have to point out the correct part. So why? Because there will be a problem with your extracted data, right? So you have to make sure that you put the correct values. Okay. So can we actually adjust something, right? You can actually do that. You can actually from 0 to 200 for X sub 1 and X sub 2, or you can do it like 1000 for the end. It's up to you. All right. So that's the X and Y charts. That's the feature of Webplot digitizer. Next here is the bar histograms and the bar graph, bar chart. Right. So this bar chart here, you can actually do that also. You can actually extract the data by the Webplot digitizer. You have to point out the point 1 and the point 2. As you do that, you can get the extracted data. Okay, so it's easier if you are using Webplot digitizer. Okay, so yeah. And why are we using this? Why are we using Webplot? Because we want to practice. That's why we are specifying the correct values, the identifications, the features, so you know that it's all available on the Webplot. All right, so this one here, polar diagrams. So polar diagrams is for the first year students. I know that you encountered, or you may be encountering this on your first years. So it's all available also in Webplot. You will have to set the ranges, the data, the value of that, and then you can either choose from degrees, regions, counterclockwise, or the clockwise. So it's more convenient for you as well. All right, so this one here, ternary diagram. So ternary diagram is for usually it's for the chemistry students. Okay, you can actually use it for the temperature, the other things, and yeah. Although I think there's one thing that we can use also in our as a physics students. Okay, and then here, so as a physics students, we are, I guess, some of you are like the aerodynamics, about the airplanes or something, or about the space, or yeah, you can actually use it. You can actually extract the data from an image of it. even if the microscopic pictures of a cell or anything that you like to test on, it's all available also on Webplot Digitizer. All right. So, ibig sabihin, you can use it on anything or anyone, right? So next, here is the image of a measurement of the distances of this image. You can actually do that. You can distance the one starting from 0 up to what you want. So it depends on you. All right. So that means you have to make sure that you have an available image that you like to extract. Okay. Next. So this one here, okay, this is for actually for the first years or the incoming or the one that, yeah. So this one here, you can actually use Webplot Digitizer if you like to extract the degrees or the angle of this object, right? So you can actually do that on the Webplot. So at least you will have an idea if there is increase or there is a decrease with the values, okay? So what I like also about the Webplot is that you can handle a lot of numbers. And if you like numbers, then you can try it on. All right. So this one here is the auto extraction. So this one we will be using is as we navigate the link. All right. So if you already click the link, okay, that's better because we will now navigate this feature. And also before that, can you download the picture on the Google Drive? All right. So I will send. Give me a second. I will send the Google Drive where you need to download the image because we need to extract some data right now. All right, so let me send. All right, so open the Google Drive and yeah, you will be. And then as you download it, can you thumbs up, right? Okay, and let me share my screen. This one. All right, so this one here. So as you download the picture, you have to go to this website because this is the Webplot Digitizer. All right. So are you guys be able to download it? Right? Can you thumbs up? So at least I know that everyone, so we can start. All right. Okay. So all right. I encourage everyone to try this because it's for those also then you can practice this. You can use it if you wanted to practice the Python. Yeah. Okay, so now that you're good, all right, that now that you have the image, launch it now. And then you will be seeing this one. All right, so you will be seeing this and we have to load the image so we download it. All right, so let's open the file. And then I will also be opening, the copy. All right, so let me find it. First, I will introduce the paper that we used for this tutorial. All right, the paper is this one, right? So let's I want to take acknowledge for this paper to be able to let us have the copy of their picture where we will extract. So this one is from Mr. Carvajal, right? This is the paper of machine learning methods and reveal the temporal pattern of the dengue incidents using meteorological factors in metropolitan Manila, Philippines. So this is the paper that So okay, so let's start now extracting it. All right, so I will insert the file, the picture. So all right, so this one here. Okay, if you're done loading this image on your Webplot Digitizer, can you give me a thumbs up? All right, so at least I know that you guys are following. All right, so so that's okay. So this part here, the first thing that we need to do is we need to set the points. So for this part here, we will only be setting this for 1 year. So we will focus on 2009. Why? Because we only need the 1 year, right? So I will just be showing you the process, how we extract data. All right. So we will set, this is our exab1. So you're seeing the zoom in. So you have to set this one. All right. Okay. All right. So So naging start na is exab2. So let me again load the image. All right. So there are times na ganun sa Webplot Digitizer. Yeah. All right. So let me, all right, let's try it again. All right, so this one is the x of 1. Next is, this one is the x of 2. So now that we're good for the x of 1 and x of 2, let's set our y. So with our y, we will only be choosing the letter A. So this one here. Okay, so this one is our y. So we only need one. Okay, hindi natin kailangan mo ng lahat. So I want you to try this on your own if you like. All right, so this one is we will use the starting point is 0. Next is the 500. Since we only need the 2009, we will only be focusing on this part only. All right, so now that we're complete for calibration, all right, we now have to set our x and y. So for this part here, since we started from the 2009 for our x, we need to set this from January to December. Why do we need to do that? Since the our study is all about dengue cases. So this happens, of course, every month, weekly. All right, so we have to start this from January to December. So let's indicate this one, 001. So start from January 1. And then it will end by 2009, 12, and 31. So now that we're good for our x, let's set our y. So we started from 0 to 500. So let's start, So from there, we were able to set the calibration. So note that whenever you extract data, you have to indicate the correct, since there will also be a problem with your extracted data. So let's assume that perfectly aligned sila. All right, so okay. All right, so are you guys following? All right, let me see if you are following. Just thumbs up. All right, yeah. Okay, all right, so let's start. So let me tell you that this has a two process again, right? This is a manual extraction and this is the automatic. Since we're not going to use the manual extractions because it takes a lot of time, you have to step by step put the points. So we're only using the automatic. So for the automatic, we need to click the pen. So why do we need to do that? We need to color the part which we will be extracting for. So, di ba kanina, pinakita ko yung auto extraction. That is what we're doing right now. All right? So, let's try. All right. So, you have to color this one. So, you'll just be like a kid like who likes to color. So, right there. All right. Is it okay that lagpas-lagpas siya? Actually, it's okay lang. As long as you are setting the line that you need to extract. That's okay. All right. So as we're done with this part, we need to set our distance from 290. So why? Because our we do need to have a data points of 52. So this part here is the data points. So for the data points, we need to set the 52. Yun ang goal natin. All right. It's okay if you will get higher than 52. All right. 55. You will just remove the 3. So from there, we also need to set the averaging window. You have to set it by 1.5 because that's the distances between the points. So you have to lower it. Okay. You can actually use it like 2.0. It's up to you. Like you can use the 1.0 or what. All right. So guys, are you done with this part? Okay. We're ready now to run and view the data. All right. So let me see if all are, following it. Okay. All right. So let's start. Let's run it. All right. So we get a data points of 30. So what does it mean? We need to higher this up. Right? We started from 290. So let's try to make this as 350. So you're seeing that the data points is also increasing. So 360 and there. So we need to just, adjust part here. All right. So 356. All right. Let's try 354. All right. So right now we're seeing that 360. So that's the best part here. So is it okay that we've got 55 as data points? That's okay because you're just using this for practice use. So we're allowed to delete some rows, right? And then put it into 52, right? So that's okay. Okay, if you got it like 52, yeah, that's actually a good one, right? So you will not be needing to remove anything. All right. So are you guys done with this part? Ready to view the data? All right. So thumbs up for that. All right. So now we will see our, yeah. So this one is the extracted data. So we're now seeing the X of our year. All right. The specific months and day. And we're also seeing this number here for Y. Because this is an NCR case or dengue cases, we are not allowed to use a decimal. Because, syempre, tao yun, di ba? It's a human, so walang kalahati, walang hati-hati doon. So you have to change this one, this word ignore into fix. All right? So set the digits to 0 for it to be a whole number, right? All right. So now that you're seeing the whole number, that means it's already done. All right. So you can now choose whether you download it CSV, CSV. All right. So pwede mo na siyang gamitin for your Python practice if you're able to download it using CSV. All right. Since hindi ka na maghihirapang mag-type or what. Okay. So this copy to clipboard. Okay. You will just copy it somewhere and then you paste it somewhere else. And this graph and plotly. Okay, this is also for if you wanted to plot this, if you wanted to check whether you got also the correct graph. All right. So yeah, are you guys following? All right. Can you thumbs up if you were following this? All right. All right. Okay. So this we just take some 5 or 10 minutes for us to be able to extract data. So now it's your turn to extract some data. Okay, I will be okay. Before that, do you understand the process? Okay, were you able to catch up with the process? So it's your turn now to extract some data. So I will be giving an activity. It's a 5-minute activity. After that, yeah. Okay. So all right. So let me share my screen for that. All right. So this one. Okay. Okay, so this one here. All right, so this is the activity. All right, so this one here, this is your activity. So you will actually use the same image, but the letter B there, yeah, you will be you have to extract that. But the different here is it's not just 1 year, it's 2 years. So you have to set your X of 1 starting from 2009, 0, and then the end will be at the end of the Y. All right. So of course, for the calibration, you have to set this all right, this correct date, all right, for you to have a good output. And then the data point should be 104. All right, it's okay if higher than 5 or you will have a 106, right? That's okay. All right. And then the averaging window for 1.5. So it's up to you what measurement for the distance. Diba kanina, we started from 290 and then we go up higher. So it's up to you how you can get this output of 144 or higher than that. All right, so ready? Are you excited to try this? All right, so let me have some thumbs up. All right, sige. Yeah, I want you to try this one because if you like to, study or apply some, for the Python, you have to try this tool. Since also for the first years, okay, yeah. Okay, so if you're done, all right, try this activity. Okay, it's also a 5-minute. All right. Again, it's the letter B, the color letter B with the same image. So this is the instructions. All right. So by 1:55, all right, 2:55, yeah, that's the end of the activity. All right. Or early under that, you can actually do that. All right. By the way, I will also show it like how this activity one, yeah, be extracted. So don't worry if you think you're having troubles extracting it. I will be showing it later on, right? If you're done, you can actually chat on chat box done if you're done extracting it. Okay, don't worry, you have still have 5 minutes for extracting it. All right, so Francesca is already up. Francesca is already done. All right, so let's see for the others. All right, done for the others. So let's. All right, for those who are done, what is your value for your distance? It's okay if it's different, right? And the number of data points that you extracted. It's okay if it's higher than the 104. All right, just, just type what is your distance. How did you get the 104? Let's see, because it's different from one another, right? It will not be the same. All right. All right, so lovely. Okay, so her distance is 280. Okay, wow, that's nice. That's so cool. All right, so now that we're able to extract the data, okay, let me show you how is it done. All right. Okay, so let's close this one. All right. All right. Let's try it. Yeah. Okay, so we have also to, again to set our X. So starting from this point right here. All right. All right. And then next is the end. So this is 2010. All right. This is our X. Now we need to set our Y. So let me, right. So this one here. So, all right. Then let's make it higher by, yeah, I guess 800. So that's okay if it's better if we put this by 800 for us to be, accurate with what we will have. All right, so this one we're done. Okay, let's calibrate it. Yeah, let's set our X starting from, okay, so 2010, 1231. All right, so we started from 0 to 800. All right, and then next that we will be doing is we color this just like how we coloring books. All right, so the part here is it's challenging because it's smaller than the first one, but it's okay if you like do this way because we only need to make sure that we color the correct. All right, so let's see. All right, so this one is the last one. All right, so let me just all right, so yeah, so there. Okay, let's try to set it by 290, and then let's do this by 1.5, and then 1.5. All right, and then let's try it. All right, so you've seen this, there's a spot there, so we need to color it again. So yeah, for it to not have a missing one. All right, so let's try it again. All right, so we need, yeah, get to color this one. All right, okay, so let's set the points there. Okay, let's make it higher. That's higher for me. All right, so let's set it by 350. All right, so we only need 104. So let's make it. All right, so I get the data points of 105. Right, so guitar ko gawin siyang 349. All right, so let's set it by 348. So we will have 105. So I am higher than 1 point. So yeah, this is the let's view the data. All right, so actually we're getting the negative, but yeah. All right, so all right, actually this one is precipitation. All right, so we can actually write it out. All right, so yeah. Okay, so this one right here. All right, so this is the activity. All right, so we're good to the part, and then we're going to the last part of our let me see here. All right, so this is the last part. All right, so this is the benefits again of Webplot Digitizer. We're able to extract an easy and fast extraction of data. Yeah, and it's useful for measuring distances or angles between various features. And last is it's free, right? It's open source. All right. Last one is the final note again. We are not allowed to use this one for an actual research paper. All right. So yeah, I hope that you will not do that. So this is just a practice purpose. If you like to do something for research purposes, you have to ask the agencies or what agencies that you would like to ask, UH, Pag-asa, or yeah. And then yeah, this is it's easy, and then it's open source, so you can use it for any types of charts, images, and then can be manually or automatically be used for extracting data. And yeah, so that's all, and I hope you learned something for today. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you. Yes, so of course, thank you again, Miss Armielyn, for that interesting and educational discussion. So now let's proceed with the Q&A portion. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please click the raise hand button and wait for us to recognize you before opening your mics. So you can also type your questions in the chat box, or if you're watching from our Facebook Live, you can comment down your questions. Yes. So actually, I'm very interested, yes, with Miss Armelyn's presentation, and actually, I'm happy that I'm able to follow um the activity that she gave us. So how about you, Franchesca?
Thankfully, I was able to follow the activity as well, but I'm still a little confused as to the applications because I have never done this before.
Yes, yes. Actually, it's also new for me. So are there any questions?
I do not.
Oh, actually, for me, I have a question in mind for Miss Armelyn. Yeah, so ask lang po if for practice, okay lang naman daw po na hindi accurate yung data na makukuha. Wait,
Yes.
yes, for practice.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually it's also good. Yeah, I guess yeah, it's okay since you're just practicing it. Then yeah, it's okay.
Thank you po. So are there any questions from our audience? And from the Facebook Live? So I think that's all.
Okay. If there are no questions to follow, thank you. Oops. Thank you for that enlightening discussion. Now, I know we're still digesting the topic that was discussed to us. So, with that in mind, it's time for a short break.
Okay, yes. So with that, so again, I want to ask you, Franchesca, how are you feeling after the first speaker?
I'm feeling fine. It's an interesting tool because I've never heard of it before, and I looked into it before the seminar, but I couldn't figure out how to use it. So I'm really glad that at least now I know how to use it. So maybe we'll make use of it in the future. How about you? Have you ever used the tool before?
Oh, actually, it's the same with you. I haven't tried it before, but also I searched the Webplot Digitizer before the seminar. Yes. Okay, so maybe let's try to ask
Some of our
the
participants.
participants. Okay, so maybe may I call on one of my friends in this physics 3-1. Hi, Adrian, Jasper Bayani.
Hello.
Hi. So actually, I saw that Adrian or AJ is actually here with us since day one. So I actually wanted to ask him, maybe, ano yung pinaka tumatak sa'yo sa workshop na to since day one?
Ano, yung tawag dito, may mga kailangan ka pa na may mga kailangan ka pang i-download na mga yung halimbawa yung Jupyter yung Jupyter yung kailangan mo pa para makapag-Python ka, maka-Python code. Kasi ang akala ko noon, need mo lang mag-download ng Python tapos need mo lang mag-download ng Python tapos di ka na need na i-download na notebooks or etc. Ganun.
Oh, yes, yes. So actually, dahil talaga sa workshop na to, nalaman din natin yung mga tools na pwede natin gamitin for Python and LaTeX. Okay. So how about you, Franchesca? Would you like to ask someone from the participants?
I would like to ask someone, not exactly my classmate, but in my year, because I've noticed that she has been chatting very actively throughout the entire seminar. So I am going to pick out Miss Lovely Rose Cruz. Hello.
Ay!
Hi.
Ay, ang happy niya.
Ay, sorry
Okay.
po.
Okay, my question is, in regards to everything that we've discussed so far, LaTeX, and Python, I would like to ask how you plan on continuing forward with the topics that we've learned. Is there anything you want to do with Python or LaTeX after the workshop has ended?
Yes, actually gusto ko talaga siyang matutunan, lalo na yung LaTeX. Hindi talaga ako mag-aano dun, parang hindi ko siya itatanggi. Pero especially ang maganda kasi sa Python din is nakakapag-create din siya ng animation and yun yung pinakatumatak sa akin siguro this entirely workshop. Yun yata yung tinuro ni Kuya Kurz nung first day. And alam mo yun, parang sa sobrang dami ng kailangan i-code, kailangan talaga muna natin magsimula sa pinaka-basic hanggang sa matutunan na natin siya unti-unti. And based sa tanong mo, I'm planning to pursue and mas matutunan pa yung LaTeX and yung Python, which is nakakatulong talaga siya para mais yung workloads and mas mapagaan at mapaganda pa yung mga pinapasa natin and nakaka-fulfilling kapag nagawa natin siya ng maayos and tama. Yun lang for me.
Okay, so thank you, lovely. Yes, for that great answer. Okay, so with that, without further delay, I hope everyone is back and ready as we will now continue our program. So now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you all our beloved second speaker. First, he is an excellent fourth-year student at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, taking up a Bachelor of Science in Physics. His domain of interest focuses on material science, condensed matter physics, computational physics, and instrumentation. He, together with his team, presented a study entitled Monte Carlo, a silicon carbide metal oxide field effect transistor in the Proceedings of the Samahang Pisika ng Pilipinas. He is a DOST SEI S&T undergraduate scholar, Dean's Lister, and the previous student service chairperson of the PUP Physics Society. He attended several seminars such as Synchrotron and Extra Laboratory and Lecture, and Science Scholar Volunteerism, the New Normal in Responsive Citizenry. Discussing data visualization in Python, let's all warmly welcome Mr. Daniel Vincent Navalta with virtual applause.
Ayan, good afternoon, no? Pleasant afternoon to everyone. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces here. And yung siguro mga first year, hindi ko masyadong kilala. Pero I'll be sharing my screen now para makapag quick introduction din ako for the first year and as well for the participants. Ayan, so nakikita na ba ang aking screen? So you can give me a thumbs up if nakikita nyo na. Ayan, so meron tayong 6. Wait lang i-full screen ko lang. So 7 yung nag-like, no? Oh, tumataas pa. So naka-full screen na ba? Wait lang. Medyo matagal ang aking laptop. Please bear with me. Ayan, hindi pa daw. Wait lang, guys. So, kanina, no, nag-Webplot Digitizer tayo. Actually, ngayon ko lang din siya, this semester ko lang din siya na-try when I joined the computational physics group sa amin dito, no. So, ayun. So, feel ko nakikita nyo na lahat yung full screen ko. Again, can you give me a thumbs up before we start? Ayun, we have 5, 8. Okay, good. So, we're down to our last day on our Code Up a Python and LaTeX workshop, no? And this is the last day for day 3 for our Python workshop. So, ako, allow me to introduce myself once again. Okay. So ayan, kita niyo yung mukha ko. Hello, my name is Vincent Navalta, and I am a BS Physics student from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Currently, I am fourth year na. Yes, nakapag-enroll na po tayo. And also, I am a senior high graduate from the same school as well. So, today, ang mga speakers natin ay si Rosenel Dahipon and also Armielyn Obinguar. They are also my research mates. We were trying to pass a paper sana in the SPP. And now, in my thesis, kagroup ko si Rosenel Dahipon, which is also a presenter for today. So, let me check the chat box. Meron tayo nag-chat. Okay, so ayun, nakita ko, tiningnan ko lang saglit, no? So, first time presenter sa Zoom. So, ayun, without further ado, ang thesis namin is about a mathematical modeling of dengue cases using meteorological factors via regression analysis. So, if any of you are wondering, what are the climatological variables? We have the temperature, we have rainfall, relative humidity, wind direction, and wind speed. So sa dengue cases naman, syempre, we requested data from the Department of Health, and also in the climatological variables, we requested data from the Pag-asa. So with our study, we're coming up with a thesis na titingnan namin kung ano yung story na lalabas sa dengue cases and climatological variables. So with that, isa sa mga i-share ko sa inyo ay yung pagde-data visualize ng mga nakuha naming data from the DOH and the Pag-asa. Pero disclaimer lang din, before we start, no, yung mga ibibigay kong data sa inyo ay not really original data from them. Kasi they are confidential first, and also yung ni-request namin is for research purposes lang. So I'll be sending the Google Drive link. Ayun, sabi ni Alain, no, sana all enrolled na. So ayun, enroll na kayo kasi October 4 ay start na ata ng ating first sem. So ayun, sinanding ni Rosenel Dahipon ng ating Google Drive, and sa loob niyan makikita nyo ang sample_data.csv. So you can download that, and if ever na ma-download nyo yan, you can give me a thumbs up before we start. Ayun, so punta kayo dun sa Google Drive, no? Then makikita nyo si sample_data.csv. Then download nyo, then tutuloy tayo sa ating next step. So ayun, marami naman nag-like. Nakikita ko yung reaction, so you can actually interact with me by using the reaction buttons. So next natin, since na-download nyo na siya, you can upload it in your Jupyter Notebook. So papakita ko muna sa inyo, sample lang, before we proceed. Ayan, so pag nabuksan nyo na si Jupyter Notebook, ito, tuloy-tuloy na tayo dito. So you can upload, pindutin nyo yung upload, then si sample data, syempre lalabas tayo dito. Ayan, si sample_data.csv, pindutin nyo lang dyan, then open. Ayan, so sa akin kasi na-upload ko na siya, so hindi ko na siya itutuloy. So pwede nyo nang gawin yan, then we can proceed with the Python coding na, okay? So next naman, no, you can give me a tada reaction kung na-upload nyo na sa inyong Jupyter Notebook yung file. So kung sa inyo ay nagtatanong kayo kung anong tada reaction, yun yung may confetti, no? May parang pasabog pag may birthday. So ayun, dalawa pa lang ang nagbibigay ng tada reaction. Ayan, 3. Okay, so more guys. So upload nyo na dito before we start kasi kakailanganin natin to para matuloy natin yung ating codes for data visualization. So ayun, siguro naman kaya nyo na rin yan. Then I'm also introducing the copy-paste board. Para sa mga codes na ilalagay ko dito, you can copy this. Then lahat ng ilalagay ko dito, lagay nyo sa Jupyter Notebook nyo. Wait lang. Lagay ko muna sa chat box natin. Ayan, you can access this para every time na maglalagay ako ng codes, you can copy it, then lagay nyo si file, and let's see what happens para makasunod kayo sa akin. So, ayan, balik tayo sa slide with my presentation. Ayun, so saan tayo na tapos? Pinaliwanag ko sa inyo yung thesis namin. We have the dengue cases and the climatological variables. So sa research, siguro naman, first year, second year, and even third years, nakapag-try na kayo ng case studies nyo. And pag dumating na kayo ng fourth year nyo, syempre magkakaroon kayo ng thesis. And with that, syempre sa results and discussion, gumagamit tayo ng iba't ibang plots and graphs sa ating researches. So, meron tayong mga iba't ibang graph na ginagamit. So for that, the most common and simplest and classic type of chart graph is the line graph, as you can see in the screen. No? If you are targeting a minimalistic look, this one is for you kasi line graphs are very lightweight. They are consisting of lines, and as opposed to the more complex chart types, mas maganda silang tignan kasi diretso makikita mo kagad na isang line, ganyan, anong nangyayari. So, ayun, if you're going to a minimalistic look, this one is for you nga. So, next one is the bar graph. So, sa bar graph, these are the types of graph for presenting a single data series. So, unlike a line graph, they are emphasizing a really good point and they do stand out on a page kasi mas makapal sila. So, if you want data na magi-stand out talaga, makikita kagad kung anong nangyayari, you can choose the bar graph. So last one is the scatter plot. So scatter plot is excellent for showing the relationship between two data series. So if you're determining their correlation, you can use this one. It is also great for showing what a distribution data looks like and drawing a line best fit for regression analysis. So ito, ilan lang sa mga graph na pinakita ko sa inyo na example na pwede nyong gamitin if meron kayong research na ginagawa. So, for today, I will be sharing you kung paano mag-data visualize ng bar graph and candlestick using Python. So, to start, no, here's the data visualization using Python with the bar graph. So, okay pa naman tayo? Kamusta naman kayo? You can give me a heart react kung nakakasabay naman tayo sa aking introduction. Ayun, meron tayo nakikita ditong 7, 9. So, with the participants, no, so far, may nakita rin akong peach react, no? We have different reactions here. So, ayun, good afternoon, no? Start na tayo. So, bar graph. So, sinabi ko kanina, wait, they are the best types of graph for presenting a single data series. So since meron nga silang makapal na line, so they do emphasize a point and stand out on the page. So ang mga gagamitin natin dito, ang module ay Pandas. So Pandas is a Python library that is used to analyze data. Okay? So it has functions for analyzing, cleaning, exploring, and manipulating data. So, bigay ko lang ng isang trivia. The name Pandas has a reference to both panel data and Python data analysis. So, it was created by Wes McKinley in 2008. So, ano bang ginagawa ng Pandas? No? It allows us to analyze big data and make conclusions based on statistical theories. So kung meron ka messy data sets, pwede niyang gawing readable yon and also relevant. So sa data science kasi relevant data is very important. So if you're going to data science field, this one might be helpful for you. So a simple way to store big data sets is using CSV files. So ang meaning ng CSV files ay comma separated files. They contain plain text and is a well-known format that can be read by everyone, including pandas. So you can import it in your applications by adding the import keyword that you can see, import pandas as PD. So next na gagamitin din natin for data visualization ay import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So it is a low-level graph plotting library in Python that serves as a visualization utility. So you can import it in your applications then by adding the import module statement. So now the pyplot package can be referred to as PLT. So to start, no, we will be going to our Jupyter notebook na. So you can try this with me as well. Open your Jupyter notebook. So pwede kayo mag-new then this one. Click this one. Ako kasi nakapagbukas na ako. So ayan. So kamusta naman? You can give me a laugh react if you are ready. Okay? For the participants. Nakabukas na ba ang inyong mga Jupyter notebook? Ayan, meron tayong mga ilang participants dito na ready na. So, ayan. First, import natin si pandas. Import pandas as PD. Then next, yung gagamitin natin si import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Don't worry, i-upload ko to dun sa ating copy-paste board. If hindi kayo makasabay, at the end of the code natin, ilalagay ko to dun para matry nyo din kung sa mga mababagal mag-type. Ganun. So, run natin. Then, yung file natin kanina, kailangan natin i-read. So, we have to read the file. Yun yung sample underscore data, no? So, lagay natin df, then pd.read underscore CSV. So, CSV file yung meron tayo. Pero, kung Excel yan, pwede nyong gawin XLSX. Pero, since CSV yung ginagamit natin, we can put CSV. Then, lagay natin yung file name. So, dito, ang file name natin, yung na-download sa Google Drive, ay sample underscore data.csv. Okay, good. So, next natin dito is index underscore co. So, equals week. So, dito naman, nililabel lang natin yung row. So, lalagay natin ang label niya ay week. So, para makita nyo kung ano mangyayari, call ko si DF. Ayun. So, lumabas na yung ating file, no? Ito yung laman ng ating file. Makikita nyo na ang index natin ay week 1 hanggang 52. Then, yung date natin is indicated here. Meron tayong temperature for minimum temperature, maximum and mean. May rainfall tayo, wind speed, wind direction, relative humidity, and dengue. So, okay naman tayo, nakakasabay. You can give me a thumbs up again if nakakasabay tayo. Ayun, good. May nakakasabay sa atin. Okay. So, next up, anong gagawin natin dito? Siyempre, to have a plot, kailangan muna natin i-set yung width and height ng figure natin. So, set the width and the height. Tama ba yung spelling ko? Charot. Of the figure. Okay. To do that, kailangan natin si PLT. PLT.figure. Then, figure size. So ako, gusto ko sana 20 by 7. So kayo, pwede nyong gawin kung anong gusto nyong, anong preferred nyong width and height ng figure nyo. So pwede nyong gawin 25 by 10 or kung saan mas best na lalabas yung figure natin. So next natin is let's add a title. Add the title. So for that, we will be using the plt.title. Then nalagay ko dito Jurassic Park. Charot. Then ang ano kasi natin dito ay weekly dengue data. Kasi weekly to, may kita nyo dito sa ating file, it is weekly, January 5, January 12, 2019. So every week siya ganon. So next natin, in our vertical axis, let's add a label. So you could never go wrong with label. Kailangan natin yan. So, label for vertical axis. So, bakit tayo naglalagay ng ganito? Siyempre, kailangan natin, yung hindi tayo malilito sa kung anong binabasa natin na data. So, para dito, the Y label is number of dengue cases. Ayan. So disclaimer lang hindi ito ang original data. Actually, this was from Army. Trinay niya mag-extract ng data. Then, ayun, ito yung ginagamit natin yan. So next natin, punta na tayo sa bar chart. So for that, plt.bar. And then, sa x-axis natin, ang kailangan lang kasi natin dito is week and dengue. So, ang gagawin natin is df.index. Siyempre, index natin is yung week. Hindi natin kailangan sila. Ito mga, these are the climatological variables. So, mamaya na kayo. Ang kailangan lang namin is the week and the dengue cases. So, this one is for the x. This one is for the y. Dengue. So, since dengue yun nandiyan, lagyan natin dengue. So, next, gagawin natin is run natin yung code. Ayun, lumabas na ang 52 weeks. So, makikita nyo sa aking screen, no? So, okay pa ba tayo dyan? Nakikita nyo ba yung nasa screen ko? You can give me a heart react again if nakikita nyo yung plot natin. Ayun, nakikita din nila. Ang galing. We have the same eyes. So, ayan, nakikita natin lahat dito na meron tayong 0. Pwede ba ito i-zoom? Ayan, meron tayong 0 up to 52 weeks. So, nandiyan nakalagay yung number of dengue cases in our vertical axis and the weekly dengue data, yung natin, oh my God, mali spelling. Ayan. Sorry. So, ayan, let's proceed na makikita natin dito na plot natin yung dengue cases na nandun sa ating file. So, for that, mapapansin nyo rin dito, sabihin natin na sa week 27 tayo. Week 27 up to week 40, medyo mataas yung niya, no? Yung cases. So, sinearch ko yan. Ano bang month yung week 27 to 40? So, ang lumabas ay parang nasa June to September. Ibig sabihin, tag-ulan. So, with that, siguro makakapag-come up tayo ng isang story na baka may relation yung tag-ulan sa pagtaas ng dengue cases. So, who knows? Baka meron pang ibang story na malaman tayo if makakuha tayo ng iba't ibang data. So, if you want to have a specific span ng data natin, siguro idadagdag nyo lang to. You will put df, then 0, 50, gusto ko siguro 20 weeks lang. So, ayan. Pag gusto ko ng 20 weeks lang, lalabas siya. Ayan. So, ito lang yung part na gusto ko makita para ma-zoom natin, no? Ito, mas mapapa-zoom natin yung gusto nating specific data. Yun lang idadagdag nyo. Pwede nyo rin gawing 30. Kung gusto nyo 30 weeks, ayan, mas tumataas siya. Pero yung kabuuan natin is 52. Ayun, nakita na. 52 pala. Charot. Sabihin natin gusto natin ng 40 again. Hindi ata siya Pero anyways, ayun. So napakita ko kung paano mag-check ng bar graph. So balik tayo sa ating slide. Bumalik sa slide, isasend ko pala yung code natin sa copy-paste board. So wait lang. Send ko yung copy-paste board. So lahat naman na-access yung copy-paste board natin, no? So pwede nyo siyang matry using the CSV file na pina-download ko sa inyo kanina. And make sure na uploaded to sa Jupyter Notebook nyo. So ito, nakikita ko meron 16 no, na nandito sa ating copy-paste board, which is very great kasi lahat ay nakakapag-try. So you can copy this, then paste nyo sa inyong Jupyter Notebook. Then make sure na uploaded yung CSV file nyo ha. Para pag niran nyo, lalabas yung ating plot. So, ayun, good. Nakakasabay pa ba? You can give me a tada react again if okay tayo sa bar graph. Okay? Ayan, meron na nakakasabay. Good. Okay. Tingnan natin yung copy-paste board. So, meron tayong 17 dito na nag-access. So, copy nyo lang. Then, try it on your Jupyter notebook. Then, we can proceed for the next plot naman, which is candlestick. Okay? Naka-zoom pala to. Okay. Ayun, to summarize, ginawa natin ay nag-import tayo ng pandas, then matplotlib.pyplot, then we read the file. Makikita niyo dito, ginamit natin yung sample underscore data.csv. Then, be mindful lang din kasi minsan kakamali ako sa spelling. So, nagkaka-error siya. So, we set the width and the height of the figure. For me, ang preference ko ay 20:7. So, yun yung ginamit ko. Then, we add the title. So, ang title ng ating plot ay weekly, sa taas ay weekly dengue data. And label for vertical axis because importante ang label. Next, nilagay natin yung bar chart, yung DF index for the X and the dengue one for the Y. So, ang lumabas ay ito. So, meron tayong 52 weeks, no? Yung 52 weeks pala ay katumbas siya ng 1 year. So, this is a dengue cases na buo sa isang taon. Okay? So, nagdagdag tayo ng isang line. So, kung gusto ko 20 weeks lang yung tignan ko, nilagay ko yung line na yan, yung line na code na yan, then ang lumabas ay 20 weeks lang nung dengue cases. So, ayun. Ito lang yung part na yon. This is the 20 week lang sa kabuuan ng 52. So, you can try it on your own given na binigay ko na yung code sa copy-paste board natin and you have the CSV file of the sample data. So, ayun. Okay naman tayo. Before we go with the candlestick chart, kamusta naman? You can give me a thumbs up if na-try nyo. Ayun, meron nakapag-try. Gumana naman, no? Good. Ayun, we have, wow. May nakikipag-interact talaga. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's proceed with the next one. Candlestick chart. So, candlestick chart, siguro naman familiar kayo with the cryptocurrency, stock trading siguro, Philippine Stock Exchange, and for the, basta yung mga ganong klase ng bagay, siguro naman familiar kayo with the candlestick chart, right? So what is a candlestick chart? So candlestick charts are among the most famous ways to analyze the time series. So they contain more information than a simple line chart and have more visual interpretability than bar chart. So trivia lang din, candlestick charts originated in Japan over 100 years. So sa component niya, let's analyze. Just like a bar chart, a daily candlestick shows the market's open. It also shows the market's high, also the low and the close of the price for that day. So the candlestick has a wide part. Yung makikita nyo yung rectangular part na may green and red. So ang tawag dyan ay real body. So this real body represents the price range between the open and the close for that day's trading. So kunyari, nagbukas siya ng piso ng umaga. So yun yung open niya. Then nagsarado siya for that day ng 10 pesos. So that is the close. So bakit nga ba red and green? So paliwanag natin. So the real body represents the price range between the open and close. So pag red daw siya, it means that the close was lower than the open. So sabihin, mas mababa si close kaysa sa open. Pero pag green naman siya, si close was higher than the open. Okay? So siguro nagtatanong kayo, ano naman yung stick sa taas? So just above and below of the real body, ang tawag dyan ay shadows. So we have the upper shadow and the lower shadow. So ito, pinapakita lang niya kung saan yung pinaka-high and low prices for that day's trading. So yung relationship nila, nung open, high, low, and close, it determines the look of the daily candlestick. So pwedeng may long or short real bodies, pwede rin na meron tayong long and short shadows. So Kuya Vince, bakit candlestick? So as you can see, meron tayo kanina sa data natin na, yung sample data natin, pinakita ko na meron tayong minimum temperature, may maximum temperature, meron tayong mean temperature. So ako, if meron akong line graph, tapos sa isang graph na yon pinagsama-sama ko sila, ay day, malilito talaga ako kasi sama-sama sila eh. Tapos yung line graph mo, sa isang line graph mo, sama-sama, ang gulo, ang hirap i-analyze. So, sa candlestick, siguro, it shows everything in just a single candlestick. You have you can use the high for the maximum. You can use the low for the minimum. Then yung open close sa standard deviation nila. So, ayun. Kaya siguro yun yung ginagamit natin. So, why not try candlestick, 'di ba? Para mas malinis and mas madaling intindihin yung ating data. So, for that, ano pa bang Kuya Vince, ano pa ba ma-encounter natin dito sa gagawin? So, also, meron tayong pag-resample ng time series data. So, nakita natin kanina na meron tayong weekly data, no? Papakita ko rin naman yan mamaya, so don't worry. Sabihin natin meron tayong weekly data ng temperature. Then gusto ko siyang gawing monthly or weekly. Sabihin natin meron kang daily data then, for example, and you want to turn it into weekly or monthly. Ito yung gagamitin natin. So meron tayo ditong part na sa pag-resample, pwede ka mag-start ng Monday, ito weekly So pwede ka mag-start ng Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Pero pag monthly naman, you just put M in that. So, ito naman, how to merge data frame using Pandas. So, makikita niyo dito yung code natin. Mas madali siya ipaliwanag kung makikita niyo mamaya. So, punta na tayo sa Jupyter Notebook and let's try another plot using candlestick. So, okay. Nasa Jupyter Notebook na ba ang lahat? You can give me a heart react if you're with me. Ayun, meron na naman tayo nagpa-participate. Very, very good. Ayan, may peach react na naman. Is that a heart? Charot. Good, good. At least may nakikita ka, nakikisabay sa akin. So, next, ang gagawin naman natin dito, syempre, meron tayong import pandas. As Ayan. So, try natin gamitin yung import plotly.graph score objects as go. Don't worry, isasend ko ulit to sa copy-paste board kung medyo nabibilisan kayo sa akin or not. Pero kung mabilis kayo mag-type, good. So, from pandas, import natin si merge. Mag-merge tayo ng data. So, run natin yan. So, next up, ang first na gagawin natin ay syempre mag-import ng data. Kung wala kang i-import na data, anong babasahin niya? So, import the data. Gagawin natin yung katulad natin ginawa kanina, df equals ed.read. Siyempre, CSV pa rin yung file natin. CSV, yung pangalan pa rin ng data natin kanina, sample underscore data.csv. Okay? So, next natin is yung index. Yung 0 parse date. Ayun, so sabihin ko lang din, no, to all participants, make sure na na-install nyo yung Plotly beforehand para makapag-plot tayo ng candlestick. Okay? Thank you for that, Rosenel. So, balik tayo sa codes natin. Parse day. So, next, gagawin natin ay magre-resample na tayo. Resampling weekly data into monthly. So kanina, nakita natin dito sa taas, eto, we have January 5, 2009, January 12, 2009, and January 19, and so on. So, naka-weekly data siya. Ako, ang gusto kong gawin, monthly na lang. So, we use resample para ma-monthly natin siya. So, for that to be possible, let's put SD since sample data. Yun yung meaning niya. So, mean equals TF. Yung desired mo na baguhin. Siyempre, T-mean. Then, we sample. So, kanina, pinakita ko sa inyo yung part na to. So, pag monthly, lagay mo lang M. Then, ayan. So, same lang din ang gagawin natin. Ang kailangan na kasi natin dito is the temperature. So, we will use it with the maximum as well. Tuloy-tuloy lang. If mabilis kayong mag-type, unlike sa akin, pwede nyo nang dire-diretsuhin. So, ang gagamitin natin dito ay minimum, maximum, mean and standard deviation. So, put M, then max. Ayan. So, please bear with me. Kailan ka mag-type. Okay pa naman kayo dyan. You can give me a thumbs up, react. If ko kaya pa, carry pa. We sample M at max. Then last, ST, standard deviation, then DF, then standard deviation ng tingin natin for the open and high natin. Yan. So, resample M, then dot ST. Okay, so, run natin. Oh, may error tayo. Wait. If nagka-error na ganyan, ano bang problema? Ayan. So, check natin kung gagana after putting this one. Ayan. Pag nirun natin, oh, same pa din. So, baka may mali ako dun sa part na, ayun. So, ang mali natin ay parse date. So, hindi ko pala nalagay ito. Sorry, excited lang. So, lagay natin date. Then, for sure, gagana na to. Ayun, okay. Nag-run na siya. So, tingnan natin, no? Kanina, naka-weekly siya. Then, papakita ko sa inyo kung ano ba kasing ginagawa nito. So, try natin yung max. Ayun. So, nangyari dito, naging monthly na siya, no? Naka January 31, February 28, January, February, March 31. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to December. So, kanina, nakikita nyo na naka-weekly siya, then ginawa natin siyang monthly. So, that is what we are doing with this one. So, pwede natin tignan din si minimum. Ayun, same lang din. January, February, March, April, May, and so on, up to December. So, next naman na gagawin natin, i-merge natin yung separate dataset. So, ang kailangan ko lang kasi dito, yung temperature. Separate datasets. So, makikita nyo sa ating DF, makikita nyo dyan, meron tayong marami. May wind speed, wind direction, relative humidity, and dengue. Ang kailangan ko lang yung temperature for the candlestick. So, sa mga ito, tatanggalin natin sila, bye-bye. So, ang gagawin natin dyan, merge, outer, then d.merge. Check ako ng comments, ha. Ayan, so, good. Balik tayo, pd.merge. Then, we can do for the left part, ang lalagay natin ay sd min. Then, for the right part, ang gusto kong ilagay dyan ay si maximum. So, next, let's put outer. Again, para sa lahat, ilalagay ko naman yung codes natin sa copy-paste board. So, hindi nyo naman kailangan magmadali sa pagta-type if nahihirapan kayo. So, ayan. Actually, binabagalan ko din. Mabagal talaga mag-type. Para feel ko na may makakasabay sa akin. So, next naman natin ay pd.merge. Sa left part, itong merge outer natin, magkasama na kasi sila. Ayan. So, hindi ko pala nilagay yung left. Lagay nyo yung left para alam nyo left siya. Then, lagay natin si right. So, sino naman lalagay natin sa right ni merge outer? Ang lalagay natin si SD min. Ayan, gusto ko siya ilagay dyan. Wala kayong magagawa. Sarap. So, ayan. Lagay natin outer. And then on date. Next up, may kulang pa tayo. So, lalagay natin sa temp. Merge ulit. Left. Yung pinaka nagawa natin dito is the temp 0. So, ang right part ay then how outer. Okay. Date. Oops. Outer. Ayun, kulang tayo ng ganun. So, kailangan nyo rin maging aware sa especially pag nagta-type kayo, no, na minsan may nakukulang tayo na ilagay, then dapat maging aware tayo sa paglalagay noon kasi matik yan mag-error. So, try natin i-run. O, yun, nag-run naman siya, which is good. Sabihin, wala tayong problema. So, ayun, papakita ko sa inyo kung ano na nangyari sa ating pag-merge ng separate dataset. So, sa DF, makikita nyo dito na meron tayong other meteorological factors like rainfall. Ang gusto nga natin magkakasama lang ang temperature and we don't want them in our group. So, pakita natin yung temp, ano yung kalabasan. So, ayun, magkakasama na sila. As you can see, yearly na to, yearly, what we did in the resampling. Then, natanggal na natin si rainfall and so on. So, ang kailangan na lang natin is yung temperature. So, next up, ang gagawin naman natin is renaming lang naman. Pag-rename lang ng mga ng mga nasa taas na to. So, papangalan lang natin siya. Renaming specific column from the dataset. Dataset. Ayan. So, try natin lagay mod temp 1. So, temp reset underscore index. So, next naman natin, yung T, si mod temp 1, ang gagawin natin sa kanya ay i-rename natin. So, for the columns, ayan. So, si tminx, nakikita nyo sa baba. Actually, delete ko na to. Ayan. So, si tminx, ang papangalan natin sa kanya ay Patricia. Charot. So, papangalan sa kanya ay tmin. Ayan. So, next naman natin, si tminy, ang papangalan natin sa kanya ay tminy, lalagay ko sa iyo ay Genevieve. So, lalagay natin pa natin dyan ay tmin underscore std. Then, let's put in place equals false. Ayun, so double check ko muna. Tama ba to? tminx, then tmin, papangalan ko siya. Then, si tminy, ang gusto ko ipangalan ay std. So, hindi siya underscore dito. Ayan, good. So, next line. So, SD. So, T, assign. Then, this part is for the open and close part ng ating candlestick. T, then, tmin. Ayan. So, minus natin siya sa ating T. So, next is yung TPSD. So, feel ko naman nakakasabay kayo, no? Kasi medyo mabagal din ako mag-type. And feel ko naman kaya pa ng ating time. Kasi last na rin naman to. And hopefully, magawa nyo rin siya sa inyong mga bahay-bahay. So, ayan. Let's try P square STD. Okay? So, ayun na. Nasa last part na tayo. Run ko lang din muna to. Hopefully, walang mali. So, check natin with the temp. Labas natin yung, may mali na. Ayun, so, ayun. Ito lang na may mali natin. Mode temp. Ba yan? Ano pala? Tag doon? Spelling. So, ayun, nag-run na siya, no? Walang problema. So, titingnan natin kung anong nagbago. Lagay natin si SD. Oops, wait lang. Tama. So, ito lang naman, yung teaming, nagkaroon tayo ng TMSTD and TPSTD for the open and high ng candlestick natin. So, proceed tayo sa ating candlestick. So, ito na yung last part, candlestick. So, let's try figure. Go. Figure. Then, yung data. Data. And then, go. Dot candlestick. Then, X equals SD. Date. Yan. So, next natin dito ay ilagay na natin yung mga open. So, sa open natin, gusto kong ilagay si ST, EMST. Ayan. So, next. Sa close. Hindi, sa high muna. Ang high natin, syempre yung maximum temperature. So, ilalagay natin si Tmax. Ayan, good. So, for the low, syempre, ang lalagay natin dito ay SD T minimum. So, temperature, minimum temperature natin. Then, close. Sa close natin, si TPST. Actually, ano lang yan, temperature, T-mean plus yung standard deviation ng natin, ng T-mean natin. So, ayun. Okay na. Then, lagay na lang natin si figure dot update layout x-axis range slider visible then false. Yan, so lagyan natin si fig.show. Tingnan natin kung lalabas nga ba ang candlestick natin. So, run. Okay, matagal. Tagal naman ito. Ayun, lumabas na. Okay guys, so makikita nyo dito na meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, basically, nakita natin yung candlestick nung data natin and from weekly na data natin, nakikita nyo naman sa screen, no? You can give me a heart react kasi napalabas natin yung candlestick, no? So, very good for me and hopefully very good for you kasi sana trinay nyo siya sa inyong Jupyter Notebook. So, makikita nyo dito, analyze natin na nag-start tayo from the weekly data. Then, syempre, marami yon per week. Then, we resampled it into a monthly data. Kaya tayo nag-come up ng 12 candlestick. So, this one is from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and so on to December. So, bakit nga green? Kanina, balikan natin. So, si green, pag green daw siya, close was higher than the open. So, tingnan natin. So, ang close was higher kasi 27.65 and the open was 22.10. So, makikita natin dito na mas mataas talaga yung close, kaya green silang lahat. Pero if you encounter a data na mas mababa si close, then for sure magre-red siya. So, that's it for the candlestick. So, hopefully, naintindihan nyo or na-try nyo with me. So, recap lang tayo. Nakikita nyo na yung slide ko. You can give me a thumbs up. Ayun. So, before pala, I will be sending the copy ng code, no? Para matry nyo din. Siguro hindi pa natatry ng lahat. So, balik tayo dito. Then, ilalagay ko siya sa copy-paste board. So, you can now access your copy-paste board. Tapos, ilalagay ko dito yung code natin. Then, try it on your Jupyter Notebook. Para sa mga sa mga hindi nakasabay kanina. So, nandito pa rin tayo sa ating copy-paste board. Ayan, nilagay ko na ang ating code. So hopefully, you can try it on your own. Then, nabigay ko na rin naman yung CSV file natin. So nakikita ko dito, marami nagtatry, no? Very good. So balik tayo sa ating slide for our summary. Okay, so nakikita nyo na ba ang aking slide? Akas na. So try natin i-summarize ang nangyari. Mga ba nangyari, Kuya Bin? So, nag-import tayo ng plotly.graph objects is go pandas. So, nag-import tayo ng data, which is the sample underscore data.csv. Nil-sample natin actually, not daily data, weekly data yan, and ginawa nating monthly, di ba? So, siguro typo lang din. So, nag-merge tayo ng separate data sets. So, gusto lang natin kunin si temperature out of all the meteorological variables for the candlestick. Then, ni-rename lang din natin yung column. Then, we did the candlestick at ang lumabas ay ito. So, napalabas natin. Fortunately, napakita ko sa inyo yung 12 candlestick for the monthly data ng ating temperature. So, it composes of minimum, maximum, mean, para madaling makita natin, madaling ma-analyze using the candlestick. So, meron din akong i-share sa inyo. Ito, usually ganyan yung mukha nun. Sample lang yan. Then, ayun. Good naman at nagawa natin. So, for the summary, meron tayong bar graph na ipakita natin yung dengue data nung sample data natin na binigay. Then, ito, na-zoom in natin up to 20 weeks lang. Then, for the candlestick chart, we have 12 candlestick na naipakita for a year from January to December 2009. 2009. So, hopefully, sa lahat ng participants and sa lahat ng viewers sa Facebook Live ay may nakuhang aral, especially sa mga codes natin, and hopefully magamit nyo to sa inyong future endeavors as BS Physics student. And ayan, thank you and have a great day. Thank you for listening. I will be sharing my screen now and I will be giving the floor to the host na. Ayan, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Navalta, for that. Wait, what? Sorry for that. Thank you, Mr. Navalta, for that wonderful presentation. Now let's continue with the Q&A portion. Again, if anyone in the audience has any questions, please click the raise hand button and wait for us to recognize you before opening your mics. You may also type any questions in the chat box, and to anyone watching from Facebook Live, you can comment down your questions.
Ayan. So I think data visualization that was discussed by Kuya Daniel was, of course, very informative, especially for us that we're doing. I think for you, Franchesca, you already have a case study, right?
Apologies?
Yes. You already had your case study on your first year, right?
Yes.
Yes. I think just like for you and for most of us, it is yes, very informative. Or maybe we can try our data. We can try to visualize our data using Python, right, Franchesca?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very interesting also to learn about the different kind of graph. Why is he raising his hand?
Ayun, I have to lang din, no?
sorry.
To share lang din na you can use it, no, in your future research, lalo na sa thesis nyo. If nahihirapan if you're dealing with data, you can use Python with that. And I will be happy to assist you. Charot. Happy to assist you. So ayun, I have to thank everyone. I have to commend na nag-participate sila sa ginawang activity as well. So ayun, thank you very much and hopefully makatulong to sa inyo.
Yes po, for sure po nakatulong po to sa aming mga sa aming mga junior and also po sa iba po mga participants. Okay, so are there any questions for Kuya Daniel?
Yung nag-PM sa akin, ano pong number ni Pogi? Sorry po, hindi po ako nagbibigay ng number. So, ayun.
So I think, yes, I think there are no questions. Again, thank you, Mr. Navalta, for that interesting discussion.
Thank you, Ren.
Yes, thank you po. So moving on, I'm very happy to inform you guys that we will still learn more because our third speaker will discuss another topic in Python.
Yes, partner. Without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to our third speaker. She is an exceptional fourth-year student at BS Physics student at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. She presented their paper in the proceedings of the Samahang Pisika ng Pilipinas regarding the measurements of light pollution in Pag-asa Astronomical Observatory. In 2018, she obtained the DOST SEI SMT undergraduate scholarship, and she was also a scholar of Project Sparta in 2020. She was an executive board member and was also a career talk officer of the PUP Physics Society. She has also participated in various conferences and seminars such as Machine Learning Analytics and Samahang Pisika ng Pilipinas Physics Conference. And lastly, she has superb technical skills in Python programming. Discussing linear regression, let us all welcome Ms. Rosenel Dahipon with a virtual applause.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
So, mag-share muna ako ng screen. So, okay. So, once again, good afternoon sa lahat ng participants and sa mga nasa FB Live for today's session. So, gising pa ba lahat ng ating mga participants? Don't worry, since last na rin naman ito. So, bibilisan ko na rin. So, for the last topic for today, day 5, so, i-discuss ko naman is linear regression. So, but first, ano pala yung magiging content natin for this discussion? First is yung pandas. So last time, na-discuss ni Kersey yung pandas. Pero dito, di-discuss natin specifically yung 2_datetime and for 2_datetime to slice the data on specific date ranges na gusto natin. Then set_index naman to assign row labels. Also, i-discuss din natin yung matplotlib.pyplot once again. Pero in this case, i-discuss natin particularly yung subplots. So last time na-introduce kung paano mag-plot but only single plots, di ba? So ngayon naman, i-discuss natin kung paano natin pagsasamahin yung plots as subplots with single call or run using Python. And lastly, yung main topic natin for this presentation, i-discuss ko naman yung linear regression and also yung mga methods na ginagamit to solve linear regression in Python. So kasama dito yung feature normalization, cost function, and gradient descent. So as a review muna, so alam na natin kung paano mag-import ng NumPy. So import NumPy SNP lang yan. And may mga pwede tayong gamitin using NumPy like np.sum, np.dot, np.min, and so on. So later on, gagamitin natin yung NumPy later on sa ating pag-code. Also, alam na rin natin kung paano mag-import ng pandas. So, import pandas as PD, sorry. And kung gusto mong mag-import ng particular file such as CSV, so pwede mong i-call yung pd.read_csv and yung file name mo. Then, .csv. So, kung for Excel naman, palitan mo lang yung CSV ng Excel or this part. Then, yung file name .xlsx naman instead of CSV. So, medyo mabilis, no? Itong first exercise, para lang ma-refresh natin si Python about sa data natin kanina. So, meron na akong nakopy na code sa copy-paste board. Gusto ko na i-copy niyo yun. Then, run the code, tapos click the raise hand reaction kung tapos na kayo. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng about, sabihin natin 30 seconds or 1 minute. Okay, may nagka-copy ng 14 participants. Sorry for background noise. Ayan, may isa nang nakapag thumbs up. Okay, meron na rin 3, 5, 6. So, marami na sila. So, I think nakapin na lahat or nakapin na ninyo. Meron na tayong 1 minute. So, make sure na yung pag-run nyo is walang error para tuloy-tuloy tayo later on. So, for the first topic for this presentation, pandas. So, pandas such as yung to_datetime. So, ano nga ba yun? So, it converts a string datetime into Python datetime object. So, kung naalala niyo yung string last time, na-discuss ni Kersey, anything in between two apostrophes or quotation marks, either letters or numbers or kaya integers, once na na-print mo yung mismong character sa loob ng apostrophe or quotation mark na yun is magiging output niya. So, for example, meron tayong str equals name, tapos may dalawang apostrophe. So, pag pinrint natin yung string, ang lalabas is yung mismong character sa loob nun, which is yung name. So, same with, kung gusto mo naman is numbers or integers. So, same din ang output. So, kay datetime naman, if hindi natin ginamit si to_datetime, ang mangyayari is, yung magiging ang string lang siya. So, kapag in-output natin yung datetime is, yung output is yung DATE, PIME lang siya. So, kapag, paano naman pag ginamit na natin si to_datetime? So, ang mangyari is, yung output natin is, instead na DATE, PIME, is yung mismong date, which is, for example, 2009, January 1, or 2009, January 2, and so on. So, yung mismong date, yung magiging output. So, ito yung example from Geek for Geeks ng operation kapag ginamit natin si hindi pa natin ginagamit si to_datetime. So, yung okay, so yung date natin is, observing nyo, yung date natin is serve as object lang siya. So, string lang siya dito. So, after operation, observe nyo na yung date natin is yung date time or square bracket and that means na yung date time yung date natin is naging date na mismo. So, pwede na siyang maglabas ng date as 1993 August 6. So, for the next exercise, so, magka-copy ulit ako ng code sa copy-paste board. Then, paste ko muna. Then, yung may dalawang line dyan ng code. So, on a separate cell, yung first cell natin is type nyo muna yung data.info. correct me DF yan. DF dapat yan, hindi yan data. df.info, open and close parentheses. So, run nyo yan. Then, on another cell, run nyo naman yung kasama na yung df square bracket, open and apostrophe, tapos yung date equals pd.to_date_time. So, kung tapos na kayo, after, let's say, 2 minutes, please raise hand reaction kung nagawa niyo. Okay, may isa na nakapag-raise hand. So, I think nasa 15 yung nagka-copy or maybe isa pa lang. So, I think nakapag-copy na kayo. So, anong mangyayari kapag nirun natin yan? So, hindi ko ipapakita yung Jupyter Notebook ko ngayon, pero ipapakita ko na lang kung ano yung magiging output niya. So, before operation, nung nag-run tayo ng data, df.info, open and close parentheses lang, observe ninyo na yung date or yung line na yan, yung naka-blue, nasa loob ng blue square na yan, box, is yung date natin is object lang. Now, if nung ginamit na natin si to_datetime, observe nyo na yung date natin ngayon is naka-datetime 64 square bracket ns. So that means na gumana yung to_. So make sure na yung pag-run nyo is walang error para maipalabas nyo itong output na ito. Now, for the exercise number 5, so hindi ko muna to ibibigay sa inyo. Supposed to be, magsaslice tayo ng data. Unfortunately, based sa output na nangyari sa, or naran ko is may mali doon sa sliced. So, hindi ko muna siya ibibigay sa ngayon. And saka ko na lang isi-share yung mismong buong notebook ng codes kapag naayos ko na. So, next naman is yung set_index. So, ano naman yung set_index? So, it sets the data frame index. Yung index natin is tinatawag din na row labels using existing columns. So, pag nag-set tayo ng index, naglalagay tayo ng, nagsiset tayo ng labels per row. So, if, ano lang to, hindi to exercise, pero kung gusto yung mag-set ng index, for example, df.set_index, tapos date yung gusto yung i-index. Ang mangyayari is, for example, meron kang data 2009, date na 2009, January 1. So yung associated values for that date is, katulad nung pinakita ni Vincent sa data kanina is yung T-mean, average temperature, maximum temperature, relative humidity, dengue. So at that is particular date, merong corresponding value. So that means na yung date na yun, specific date na yun, is yun yung label natin for particular values ng ating team and hanggang dengue. So, if naran nyo yung code na yan, with the date as index, bagong index. So, with default index, kapag naran nyo yung df, is ito lang yung lalabas. So, yung default index niya is 0, 1, 2, 3. Itong sa may left part natin ng image. And then, kapag naman after natin gamitin si set_index, so, tingnan nyo na yung date is nakababa siya. So, hindi siya kapantay noong week, T-mean, average temperature, Tmax, and so on. So, that means na naka-index na siya. Si date na ngayon is yung row label natin. So at January 5, 2009, merong value ni minimum temperature na 1854, value ni average temperature 23.6, and so on. Now for the subplots na. So, wait lang, no? Give me. So, sa matplotlib pyplot last time, nakapag-plot tayo ng single plot lang. So, and every plot is merong corresponding single call. So, isa-isahin natin yun, di ba? So, for PLP.subplots, meron tayong, sabihin natin meron tayong 2 or more plots and gusto natin pagsamahin tapos nasa isang single, using single call lang. So, isang run lang siya. So, yun yung purpose ni PLP.subplots. It creates a figure and a grid of subplots with a single call. So, dito, pwede natin gamitin is fig, comma, access. So, equals to PLP.subplots. Tapos, remember yung fig size kanina na tinuro ni Vince. Ayan yung dimensions, yung width and height. So, pwede niyang baguhin. Yung n rows is corresponding to number of rows and calls number of columns. Now, for the exercise number 4, gusto kong i-copy niyo yung code from the copy-paste board. Then, click the raise hand kapag na-copy nyo na and na-print doon sa ating Jupyter Notebook. There. So, while waiting, punta na ako sa Jupyter Notebook natin. So, may isa nang nag-react. Sana nakakasunod yung iba din. Parang kumunti ata yung nagpa-participate. But anyway, kung hindi nyo talaga naintindihan yung mga codes, as long as nakakopy nyo siya, pwede nyo siyang gamitin later on kung balak nyo rin na gumawa ng study about linear regression or gumamit ng Python codes sa inyong thesis study. Baka may makuha kayong infos sa code na sinishare namin ngayon. So, make sure na nakopy nyo para meron kayong at least notes, kumbaga. So, kanina, meron tayong data. I-run ko muna to while waiting sa iba. By the way, aside pala sa pd.to_datetime, pwede rin tayo mag-for states. So, para maging ano siya, datetime. So, isi-share ko naman itong notebook later. So, pwede nyo itong magamit din. So, index. So, observe niyo yung sa set index natin, naging date, yung date is naging row labels na ngayon. And if weeks naman, yung week naman yung lalabas as ating row label. So, ayun. So, once na nakopy nyo na yung code, ito yung example natin for subplots, no? So, first, meron tayong X and Y values. I-run natin yan. And then, as an example for single plot last time, ito yung fig, axis natin na pinakita kanina sa PPT, then PLP subplots. Yung fig size natin. So, hindi pa natin nilagay dito yung n rows and columns kasi one plot lang naman siya. And then, ano yung ipa-plot natin? Siyempre, yung X value and yung Y value natin. Then, pwede tayo mag-set ng title. So, tawagin natin siyang as single plot. And meron tayong isang plot na ngayon. So, what if meron tayong two plots? For example, vertically stacked plots sila. So, dito, maglalagay na tayo ng n rows and number of columns. Since tinawag natin siyang vertically means na nasa taas yung isa, nasa baba yung isa. So, yung number of columns, number of rows niya ngayon is 2, and yung number of column niya naman is 1 lang. Then, same pa rin, nag-set tayo ng title. So, medyo nag-iba na dito, nagbago na yung pag-set ng title natin. Then, yung axis na ngayon is, meron na siyang, meron ng 2 axis. Since 2 na yung plot natin. So, since meron lang tayong x and y values and gusto natin 2, so ginawa kong negative na lang yung isa. So, negative y siya para meron tayong 2 plots. Then, yung 0 dito, take note na itong 0 to is yung index na tinatawag natin. So, remember na yung by default kanina na index, nag-start lagi si Python from 0 hanggang sa n numbers pataas. So, increasing. So, itong 0 na yan, that means na nasa first row siya. And yung 1 naman is yung second row. So, kapag niran natin yan, ang lalabas ay vertically stacked subplots. So, same din ng idea sa horizontally naman. So, side by side naman siya. So, instead na yung number of rows natin is 2, so naging 1 na lang siya. Tapos yung number of columns naman natin ngayon is naging 2 kasi side by side sila. So, same pa rin ang process located at first column. Ngayon naman first column, hindi na siya row. And ito naman is yung second column. Tapos kapag nira natin, side by side na siya. So what if horizontally and vertically stacked subplots naman? So kino-consider din natin yung 2 or more plots. So instead na 2, meron na tayong higit pa doon. So sabihin natin na yung plots natin is same pa rin as before, x, y, x, negative y, x, y, x, negative y. Para lang as example. Pero ngayon, yung plots natin or yung number of rows pala natin is 2 na. And yung number of columns natin is 2 din. So dito, may specific na siya, specific location kung saan dapat ilagay. So for plot x, y, located siya sa, itong first na to is yung number of row, ay yung first row, which is yung 0, and then yung column, which is 0 din. Then second row, first column is, nag-increase lang tayo ng isa, so naging 1. Tapos, same column pa rin siya, so 0 pa rin siya. So, for column 2 naman, instead na 0, naging 1 na siya. So, naging 1 dito, 1 din dito. So, same lang sila. Pero yung number of, yung row naman natin is 0 and 1. So, kapag nira natin yan, ito yung lalabas. So, what if gusto nyo, tatlong rows, nandito yung 3 plots. So, 1, 2, 3, tapos yung isa lang dito. So, pwede nyo baguhin yung number of rows dito. And then, number of columns. So, number of rows mo ngayon is magiging 3 kapag 3 rows yung gusto mong gawin. And number of columns is, as well, pa rin siya? 2 pa rin siya since 2 columns pa rin naman. So, also, kapag ginawa mo yun, may isa ka ditong plot na papalitan. So, since nasa third row na siya, so sabihin natin, first row, second row, so third row, ibig sabihin, 2 siya. 'Di ba? Kasi nasa pang-third siya na row, first column. So, for the next activity or exercise, gusto ko i-copy niyo naman itong code sa copy-paste board. Itong isa-send ko is, itatry natin yung subplots naman doon mismo sa ating data na in-import kanina. And make sure na mag-raise hand kayo kung tapos na kayo or kaya thumbs up para mag-proceed tayo. Okay, may dalawang nag-thumbs up. Sana natatry din ng iba para, alam mo yun, hands-on or nakakasunod kayo sa ibig sabihin ng mga codes na yan. So I think nakapin nyo na. So same ng idea kanina na pinakita ko. Notice na yung number of rows pala natin dito is 2 and number of columns is 1. And yung column na meron tayo and number of row dito is 3. So sa for column 1, meron tayong 3 rows. So 1 for for Tmax, for 2 for Tmin, 3 for relative humidity. As well as sa column 2. So 3 rows din siya. So gusto ko na palitan niyo yung number of rows niyo into 3. And then yung number of columns into 2. Then kapag niran niyo yan, wait lang natin. Ayan. So may lumabas na output. So bakit iba siya doon sa ating kanina? So may sabi dito, lumabas po sa akin too many indices for array, but 2 were indexed. Okay. Palitan mo yung number of rows into 3, tapos number of columns into 2. Yeah, yung enclosed and rows mo. Palitan mo yan ng 3. And wait, taas ko muna. Medyo hindi nakikita. Yan. Number of rows, 3. Number of columns, 2. There. Okay, yan. Nagdara na daw. So, explain ko kung anong nangyari. So, katulad pa rin ng kanina, yung sa ating ginawang sample, big axis, PLT subplots. So, yung dimension, kung gusto nyo palitan yan, go on. Number of rows, number of columns. And dito tayo. So, yung axis natin at first column, ito yung first row, first column. So, laging yung nasa unahan is yung row, and yung sa pangalawa is yung ating column. Tapos, hindi natin ginawang line plot, ginawa natin scatter plot dito sa case na to. So, if gusto nyo line naman, medyo ano kasi yan eh, chaotic siya tingnan, kasi yung data mo, pabago-bago since di ba nga temperature siya. So hindi siya magiging kaaya-aya tingnan. So kaya tayo nag-scatter na lang. And then dinefine natin yung x value natin as yung Tmax or yung maximum temperature natin from the data natin. So df yung data source natin, di ba? And then yung y naman natin is yung dengue. So tapos nilagyan natin ng color B. So kung gusto yung palitan yung color, available naman yun kapag sinearch yung matplotlib.pyplot in Python. So, tapos color, or kaya color lang. Color in Python. So, makikita niyo yun. Pwede yung baguhin yung colors. Then, nag-label lang tayo ng X and Y. So, maximum temperature dengue cases. Para lang ma-identify natin yung difference between other subplots. And then, yung title mismo ng plot natin. So, lahat yun located at same row and same column. Same with other din. So, since ito first row, first column, second naman is first column, tapos second row naman. Same din sa iba. First column, third row naman. So, for column 2, binago natin yung number of column. So, since dito 0, dito naman naging 1. So, observe nyo, lahat yan is sila 1. So, ibig sabihin nasa column 2, same sila ng column. And then, tanggalin natin ito. Medyo ang pagulo ito. And then, ngayon naman, yung row naman natin is 0. So, located siya sa first row. And yung 1 is second row. And yung 2 is nasa third row. So, lahat yan sila, makikita natin dito. So, naka-scatter plots silang lahat. So, lahat yan ang points na nakita natin doon sa ating data source na DF. Now, balik tayo doon sa ating slide. Ngayon naman, doon tayo sa ating main topic ng discussion today. So, ano nga ba yung linear regression? So, it is a method for investigating and modeling the linear relationship between variables. So, sa linear regression, kinukuha natin yung linear relationship between two or more variables. And ina-assume ni linear regression na may linear association yung mga variables sa isa't isa. So, for example, meron tayong data point. And sabihin natin na yung X natin and Y is for temperature and dengue cases respectively. Kasi linear regression is, kukunin niya yung linear relationship. So, paano niya kukunin yung linear relationship? So, ipa-plot niya yung linear, ipa-plot niya yung line kung saan dinedefine nun yung association ng temperature or ng dengue cases doon sa temperature. So, yung line na yan actually is pwede nating i-define as a function. So, kung naalala niyo yung function, functions for linear, di ba? Pag linear is x variable, di ba? Where yung x is yung independent, tapos yung f of x is yung dependent. Or kaya naman, pwede rin siya, yung pinaka-common na equation na encounter natin is yung ax plus b. Where yung y natin dyan is yung dengue cases, tapos yung x natin is yung temperature, tapos yung a and b dyan is yung parameter. So, in machine learning, so yung in Python, pwede actually natin i-express yung line na yan in other way around. So, same lang din siya ng idea. Pinalitan lang natin ng mga characters. So, yung b naging theta sub 0, plus yung a naman is yung naging theta sub 1, tapos yung x natin is yung x sub 1. So, tapos ang tawag natin dyan sa h of x na yan is hypothesis function. So, yung linear relationship between variables is ine-express as a function na tinatawag hypothesis function. So, yan is only for one variable. At ang tawag dyan is univariate function. So, what if meron tayong maraming variables? So, aside from temperature, meron tayong relative humidity, meron tayong wind speed, wind direction, tapos gusto natin kunin yung linear relationship between variables na yon kay dengue cases. So, pwede nating sabihin natin, mag-add tayo ng isa pang variable, sabihin natin relative humidity. So, mag-add tayo ng additional variable and parameters. Take note na yung theta natin, yung thetas, theta sub 0, theta sub 1, theta sub 2, and so on. Yan ang tinatawag na parameters or coefficients or tinatawag din yung constants. Then if nag-add pa tayo ng wind speed or wind direction, nag-add pa tayo. And if gusto natin na maraming variables, then hanggang n variables yung pwede nating gawin as a function. So, ang tawag naman natin kapag multiple yung variable natin is multivariate function. Now, paano natin i-apply si linear regression using Python? So, itong image na to is adapted from Andrew Ng doon sa kanyang machine learning na discussion. Sabihin natin na meron tayong training set, no? Yung training set natin is yun yung data natin from DF kanina, yung kinol nating data, which is yung sample underscore data natin. Tapos pinasok natin siya sa learning algorithm. Yung learning algorithm natin ngayon is, meron yung two process, yung cost function, and then yung after ng cost function, pupunta siya kay gradient descent. I-discuss natin yan later on, separate sila. Then after natin i-process yan, makukuha na natin ngayon si hypothesis function. Ngayon, kapag meron na tayong hypothesis function, pwede tayong mag-input ng values kay hypothesis function. Remember na yung hypothesis function equals theta sub 0 plus theta sub 1, x sub 1, and so on, di ba? Yung x doon, pwede tayong mag-apply ng value doon sa x na yun. Sabihin natin temperature. And then, after natin in-input, makakapagpalabas tayo ng estimated dengue cases. So what if, aside from temperature, meron tayong relative humidity, wind speed, and wind direction. So madadagdagan yung hypothesis function natin ng additional variables dyan. Then yung lalabas is yung estimated dengue cases pa rin.
Yun, para bang kinakawawa ka dyan? Kasi nakaupo. Wala lang, gusto ko lang. Bakit lagi mo po kasi uupo ka sa higaan. Malamig mo na ako eh. Magkaupo sa higaan ha. Ano mo yung isa? Ano ba to ha? Wala! Malam? Hindi ka pa laptop.
Ay, sorry, naka-mute pala ako. So, balik tayo. So, how exactly can we derive in Python yung hypothesis function, either univariate or multivariate? So, gawin nating example yung data natin, where yung tawagin natin yung columns from tmin to rh as x variables, yun, x1, then nirename natin siya as x1, x2, x3, x4. And then for y variable, tawagin natin siyang y. Notice na pala na walang variable na kasama yung theta sub 0 natin. No? Actually, meron yan. However, kino-considered natin yung variable na yun, tawagin natin na x sub 0 as equivalent sa 1. So, kino-considered natin siya na invisible since 1 lang naman siya sa hypothesis function. So, isama na rin natin yan. Thank you pala dun sa nagsabi na nakamute ako. So, yan. And tawagin natin x sub 0. So, i-input with hypothesis function, i-input natin yung values from x variables. Then, makakakuha na tayo ng estimated value na tatawagin natin h of x. So, anong gamit ni y dito pala? Anong purpose niya? So, gagamitin natin si y para aralin ng ating learning algorithm. So, for example, meron tayong y value na 303. Paano natin nakuha yung 303? So, nag-input tayo ng values na 18.54, 23.66, 33.0, 2.0, and so on dito sa ating hypothesis function. Then, nakapagpalabas tayo ng 303. So, ito yung basehan ni hypothesis ng learning algorithm natin para makapag-create ng hypothesis function. So, take note no na kapag mas marami yung or mas malaki yung data natin, the more na mas magiging accurate yung hypothesis function natin or yung h of x natin. And by the way, okay, hindi pala. So, yun. So, balik tayo sa question kung paano i-derive yung h of x using Python. So, meron tayong x variables with that data. So, gagawin natin yan, i-convert natin yan mamaya as a matrix kasi need natin i-derive si hypothesis function. Also, gagawin din natin matrix si y para makapag-produce tayo ng h of x. Pero syempre, isasama natin yung matrix din in matrix form ng theta variables natin, theta parameters natin. So remember yung hypothesis function natin and yung data natin. So i-convert natin siya as a matrix. And sabihin natin, so bawat values dyan is nandoon lang din yun kanina sa ating back natin. So 1 for first column, for 1, for second column, 18.54, 18.5. And ginawa natin siyang matrix. So sa mga incoming first years and second years, I think, hindi pa ninyo alam ito. So, okay lang yan kasi at least magkaka-idea kayo kung paano natin or ano yung matrix. So, for incoming third year and fourth years naman, so alam nyo na, so ibig sabihin, mas maintindihan nyo kung paano ko i-derive yung hypothesis function. Sabihin natin na yung values na yan is capital X. And then yung corresponding, okay. And then yung sabihin natin na lahat ng values na yan, syempre, dahil pinangalanan natin yung first column as x sub 0. So sabihin natin or i-summarize natin yan as this variables. And sabihin natin na meron din tayong theta. So sa ngayon, wala pa tayong values for theta, pero yan yung gagamitin natin for deriving hypothesis function. And then, ganun din kay y. So, nilagay lang din natin siya sa square bracket. Ngayon, paano natin ma-derive si hypothesis function? Or yung mga matrices natin? Paano natin ma-derive si hypothesis function using yung matrices na nagawa natin? So, remember yung pag-multiply ng matrices, di ba? For third years and fourth year students. So, for example, nag-multiply tayo ng A and B. And lagi natin kino-consider pala na kapag may kailangan yung dimensions ng dalawang matrix is as soon as possible pareho. Anong ibig kong sabihin? Yung number of columns is dapat ng first matrix is dapat equal doon sa number of rows ng second matrix. Kapag equal sila, that means na pwede tayong mag-multiply. Kapag hindi sila equal, that means na hindi pwede yung dalawang matrix i-multiply. Kapag same sila, that means na yung possible na maging dimension ng ating bagong or yung product ng dalawa is 2 by 2 din. So, for example, mag-multiply tayo nito, i-multiply natin. So, remember, di ba, na pag nag-multiply tayo ng matrix, multiply natin yung first row, tapos sa first column, then first row sa second column. So, A times 1, so magiging A, B times 3, magiging 3B, and then again, for second column, A times 2, magiging 2A, B times 4, magiging 4B. So, ganun din yung mangyayari sa second rows and, right, second rows and second column, and C times 1, 3, D times 3, and so on. So for row matrix and column matrix, itong row matrix, tinatawag din natin na row vector, and ito is column vector. So pag minultiply natin, i-consider ulit natin yung number of columns and number of row ng first and second matrix respectively. So dahil same sila, possible na yung magiging dimension natin is 1 by 1. So minultiply natin A times 1, so A, B times 2, 2B, C times 3, 3C, and so on. So i-apply natin tong idea na to doon sa ating hypothesis function. So remember na yung X variables natin is in that form. Tapos yung ating, and meron siyang dimension na 1 by 8 kasi 1 row lang siya, tapos merong 8 columns. And then for for theta is the same din yung dimension. 1 by 8 din. So kapag minultiply natin yan, dalawang yan, notice ninyo na magkaiba sila. So that means na hindi natin pwedeng i-multiply yung dalawang yan. So no, no, no. So paano natin ngayon ma-derive sa hypothesis function? Gamit yung ating theta parameters and x variables. So dapat meron tayong i-transpose. So yung tinatawag na transpose is yung, for example, yung theta natin, meron tayong row matrix. So pag tinranspose natin yan, magiging column matrix na yan. So yung 0 nasa taas, yung theta sub 1 nasa baba, theta sub 2 and so on. So ito siya. Yan. So sabihin natin na yung transpose ng ating theta is yung theta raised to t. So dinedefine niya na yung theta raised to t is yung transposed na matrix. So by the way, bakit pala theta yung transpose natin dito? Bakit hindi pwedeng x? Pwede rin natin gawing yung sa x. Kaso kasi yung sa x, maraming data si x eh. 'Di ba? Remember niyo yung number of column, number of rows niya is nasa 52. So ibig sabihin na maraming pwedeng i-transpose kapag si x yung i-transpose natin. So mahirap, parang mas matagal i-run. So si theta, ito lang yun, yung theta sub 0, theta sub 1, theta sub 2 and so on. So mas mabilis yung pag-transpose niya. So ngayon si theta natin, transpose theta is meron ng dimension na 8 by 1. So that means na meron na silang number of columns na 8 and number of rows na 8. So pwede na natin i-multiply yung x and yung ating theta. So ganun ulit, same process. So multiply si x sub 0 kay theta sub 0. Makukuha natin yung x sub 0, theta sub 0. Si x sub 1 kay theta sub 1. Makukuha natin si x sub 1, theta sub 1. And so on. So makukuha natin to. So kung ililipat mo si theta sub 0 kay doon sa left part ni x sub 0 as well as doon sa ibang theta parameters, makikita nyo na same pala siya ng h of x natin. So ibig sabihin nakapag-derive tayo ng hypothesis function using matrix using multiplication of matrices. So ito na ngayon si hypothesis function natin. So mamaya gagawin natin, gagamitin or i-apply natin yung concept na to doon kay Python para makapag-produce tayo ng hypothesis function na magde-define ng linear relationship between temperatures, wind speed, relative humidity, and yung kay dengue cases para makapag-estimate tayo ng number of dengue cases. So, but first, bago tayo pumunta sa ibang define muna natin or ano muna pala kung ano muna pala yung feature normalization. So, sa feature normalization, ang pinaka-purpose niya is it changes the scale of the feature. So, it gets every feature into x greater than or equal to -1 or less than or equal to 1 range. So, anong gamit niya? Bakit kailangan pa natin ipalitan yung scale niya? Bakit hindi pwedeng yun na lang? So, mamaya kay gradient descent kasi, kapag yung ranges ng values, for example, kay temperature natin from 18 to sabihin natin 30, tapos yung iba nasa 0 to 1,000 yung range, hindi sila same scale, mas mahirapan mag-process ng data. So, mas matagal yung runtime ng codes natin. So, useful si pag-normalize, useful si feature normalization para mapabilis yung runtime natin. So, better na i-normalize mo muna yung data mo before ka mag-run ng kung ano mang codes ang need para mag-solve ng hypothesis function. So, merong iba't ibang klase ng feature scaling or feature normalization. Sa case natin ngayon, explain ko lang yung specific na type, which is yung variance scaling or yung mean normalization. So, pwede siyang i-express as x equals to x sub I minus mu and all over sigma. So, yung x natin dyan is yung feature natin. Yun yung sa Tmean, Tmax, average temperature, and so on. And yung x sub I natin is yung training element. Yan yung mga values nila, yung mga 18 point something, 303 something, and so on. And yung mu is yung mean or yung average value ng feature natin. So kung, for example, kay Tmean, merong 52 values. So, add natin yung lahat, tapos divide natin into 52. And then yung sigma naman is yung standard deviation. So, dito gagamitin natin is standard deviation. Pero may isa pang way para mag-solve niyan ng sigma. Tawag nila is yung max minus min, or yung difference ng maximum value doon sa minimum value. So, nagbigay tayo ng example. So, example, meron tayong data column. Yung column, sabihin natin T-min yan. Yung x sa buwan na yan, T-min. Tapos yung range ng data niya is 0 to 5. So kapag ginamit natin yung feature normalization, mamaya, manonormalize yung data. So, yung scale niya is bababa. Sabihin natin na yung x sa buwan na yan is merong data or lists of values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, ibig sabihin lang na yung average niyan is 2.5. So, pag inad mo yung 6 na yan, tapos dinivide mo by 6, 2.5 ang lalabas. And then yung sigma is 5. That is, ginamit natin yung maximum minus minimum. So, 5 minus 0 equals 5. So, kapag ginamit natin yung feature scaling na equation, so at range or at 0, at x sub I equals to 0, yung magiging value is negative 0.5. And at x sub I equals to 5, yung magiging value naman is 0.5. That means na yung range ng normalized data natin ngayon is negative, xi is greater than or equal to negative 0.5, but less than or equal to 0.5. So, same din siya sa ibang range naman. Sabihin natin 0 to 2,000. Sabihin natin na yung average is 1,000, tapos yung difference ng maximum sa minimum is 2,000. And kapag kinuha natin yung range at x sub I equals to 0, negative 0.5 pa rin siya. So, 0 minus 1,000 divided by 2,000. So, negative 0.5. Same din sa 2,000. Oh, may mali. Dapat ito ay 0 and ito ay 2,000. Typographical error. And yung normalized data naman is same din nung sa last example natin. Ayun. So, medyo mahaba-habang discussion yun. Ngayon naman, mag-exercise muna tayo. Oh gosh, nawala. So, may code ulit akong i-copy sa copy-paste board. I-run nyo yung code na yon, then click the raise hand kung tapos na kayo. So, ipapaste ko muna siya. So, na-paste ko na. Kindly copy na lang yung codes sa copy-paste board. And then, don't forget to raise hand kapag tapos na kayo. Ayan, may isa na nag-raise hand. Nga pala, kapag may tanong kayo, pwede nyo akong i-message or pwede kayong mag-send ng question sa chat box. So, lipat na muna ako sa Jupyter Notebook. Notice nyo pala may comment dyan na for separate cell on a separate cell. So, dapat magkahiwalay sila ng cell. So, ilagay nyo sila sa magkaibang cell para makasunod kayo mamaya. The function does not support argument type flow. Square method. Type error loop. Oh, may error. Napaghiwalay mo ba yung yung dapat na ipaghiwalay na codes? If hindi, gawin mo muna. Which has no callable square root method. Or if hindi pa rin gumana, pwede mong gawin is restart mo yung iyong notebook. So, click mo lang itong square na to kung nakikita mo tong sa screen. Click mo yan. Then, RR. Tapos, restart. Kapag na-restart mo, run mo ulit yung mga codes sa unahan, bandang unahan. Lahat yun i-run mo na lang para hindi na magkadukulo-kulo. Then, saka mo i-run ulit yung sa part ng ating feature normalization. There. So, I think nakapag-copy na yung iba and na pag-hiwalay nila yung codes. So, sa first, dito, remember na gusto natin i-convert yung data natin into a matrix form, di ba? So, yung X and Y values natin dito is kinonvert lang natin into matrix. Then, in-identify natin yung location nila. So, Y is located at 8. Then, yung M equals len, open and close parenthesis Y is actually yung number of training examples natin. Then, pinrint lang natin yung length ng M natin. And then, pinakita natin yung first 5 values natin dito using for loop. So, nag-substitute siya ng numbers in range 1 to 5. So, yung first column, first row, 1. So, second row hanggang sa 5th row. So, kapag niran natin yan, ito yung lalabas. So, yung total number of training examples equals 52 since ang ginapit natin is 2009 hanggang January 1, 2009 hanggang December 31, 2009. So, meron tayong 52 number of. Okay, may error daw siya. Yung codes under another cell, di po gumana, doon po lumalabas yung error. Sige, wait lang. I-run ko muna itong part na ito. So, I see. Wait lang, i-ano ko after ko dito sa second cell. So, ngayon, dinefine natin yung ating feature normalization para makapag-normalize tayo ng data. And tinawag natin yung function natin as feature normalization as a function of ating X. Then, nag-return tayo. So, kapag kinol natin si feature normalization, laging mag-return yung normalized X values, yung average mean or average value or yung mean natin and yung standard deviation. So, define natin yung mean as equals to np.mean. So, gumamit tayo ng pandas. And yung average ng X values natin located at axis 0. Tapos, same din sa standard deviation. So, np.std naman. Then, kapag niran natin yan, so, okay, wala siyang error. That means na gumagana yung ating function. Now, nag-substitute tayo ng values. For X, yung gusto natin i-normalize is yung X. And meron pa rin tayong average na mean ang tawag, STD naman for standard deviation. At equal daw yun sa feature normalization. So, kapag na-input na natin yun, ipaprint natin ngayon si mean para lang makita natin kung anong nangyari. And yung standard deviation. Tapos yung ating normalized data. Yung first 5 normalized data. Check ko kung gagana siya or may error din siya. Meron nga. Has no attribute SQRT. So wait lang, no? May i-check lang ako. SQRT. Square root. Ano natin yung error dito sa pinakaibaba. Loop of view function does not support argument 0 of type float, which has no callable square method. Why? So try natin yung aking another code. And gusto kong i-paste nito. Or baka same lang din sila. So try nyo ulit i-copy, then run. Kung hindi, move on na tayo. Since pinapakita lang din naman natin dyan yung mga normalized data. So not necessarily na makita natin. May error pa rin. So I think ayusin ko na lang yan later on kung hindi talaga or may error talaga. Kasi may SQRT something or yung square root. Doon nagmula yung mali. Or yung spacing. Baka may mali sa spacing. STD, pitch normalization. Ayun. So, kung hindi gumana, move on na lang muna tayo. So, isa-send ko na lang yung revised code mamaya para mapakita yung ating normalized data. So, move na tayo. So, balik tayo doon sa ating slide. There. So, balik tayo doon sa ating linear regression kanina, di ba? Meron tayong data points. And then yung X natin is temperature, dengue cases naman natin is yung sa Y. And then, gusto natin, so using linear regression, ina-identify natin yung, or dinedescribe natin yung linear relation between temperature and dengue cases. So, pwede siyang ganitong, pwede na ganito yung line niya na nagde-define yung relation nila, or ganitong line, naka-horizontal, or kaya naka-diagonal, or kaya naka-vertical. Pero, paano natin masasabi kung alin dyan sa mga lines na yan yung accurate line na nagde-describe ng association between temperature and dengue cases? So, which one is a well-fitted line? So, papasok ngayon dito si cost function. So, si cost function measures the accuracy of the h of x din yan. So, h sub 0 theta or h of x. So, it measures how well your model is fitting the training data. Okay, mabilis na lang ito. So, tapusin ko na. So, naubusan na daw ako ng oras. Sa dalawang cell na lang ang irara natin. Or 3. Then, pwede siyang express as this equation. So, pwede rin siyang tawagin, okay, later. where yung M natin is yung length ng data or yung number of elements. Yan yung 52, di ba kanina? Yung H sub 0 natin is yung hypothesis function. Yung X raised to open and close parenthesis I and Y is yung trailing elements natin. Yun yung mga values natin, yung 18 point something, 303, and so on. And then yung theta natin represents yung theta parameters na tinatawag ng theta sub 0, theta sub 1, theta sub 2, and so on. So, balik tayo sa equation natin. So, aside from tinatawag siya ng cost function, tinatawag din siyang square error. Or kaya, mean square error. Bakit kaya? So, remember for sa mga second, third, and fourth year students, remember niyo yung accepted value minus experimental value. So, di ba, ang tawag natin dyan is error. Where yung accepted value, yun yung as the name suggests, accepted, and yung experimental, yun yung tayo mismo yung kumuha ng data. So, ganun din yung, same din siya ng H of X natin and saka yung Y. So, yan yung error natin. Then, kinuha natin yung square niyan, ng buong H of X na yan, kaya tinawag siyang square error. Now, notice niyo yung M, which is yung number of training elements natin, which is 52, tapos inad natin yon yung lahat ng data na yon, yung 52 elements, tapos dinivide natin kung ilan sila. Kaya siya tinawag na mean square error. So, yung 1/2 dyan is actually, kinuha lang natin yung kalahati ng mean square error natin. Kaya may 1/2 para kumonte or lumiit lang yung value natin. Now, may ilalagay ulit ako sa copy-paste board. And i-copy nyo ulit. Then, run the code. And kapag na-run nyo na, raise hand reaction. Click nyo lang yung raise hand reaction. So, malapit na ito. Matatapos na tayo. Bibilisan ko na lang. So, yan. Diretso na ako doon sa ating Jupyter Notebook. There. So, wag yung kalimutan na yung mga may comments yun na on a separate cell, another separate cell, and so on. So, ihiwalay nyo. So, yung for first cell natin, so yung df equals df.values. So, kino-convert natin yung ating df na data kanina. So, since na-convert na natin siya kanina, pero kinonvert lang ulit natin as matrix ulit. So, yung dot values, which means na kino-convert natin into matrix yung ating data. And then, yung define natin yung M2 as yung length ng data natin, minus 1, which means na, since nag-start siya ng, dapat plus 1. Nag-start siya sa 0, so dapat plus 1. No, not necessarily plus 1. Yan siya as is, so no need to maguluhan. And then, na-reshape natin yung x2 natin, which is yung x variables natin, x values natin, as yung number of, yung length, which is rows natin yan, number of rows, then yung dimension, yung column, which is 8, from 0 to 8 columns ng df natin. And then, ginamit natin yung function natin kanina, feature normalization, tapos yung in-insert natin is, ngayon is yung x2 instead ng x underscore norm, and then yung mean as mean underscore x2, tapos yung std as underscore x2. Okay, sige. Pakita natin mamaya kapag may error ulit. How come maraming error ngayon? Lumana naman ito kanina. So, i-run natin yan. Ay, by the way, nakalimutan ko yung np.append. So, kung naalala ko nyo kanina, yung x sub 0 natin is, di ba? Puro siya 1. Column siya ng lahat 1 yung value. So, ito yung np.ones, yun yung, gumagawa tayo ng matrix na yung laman ng matrix na yun is puro 1 with the length na M2. So, number of rows M2, tapos column is 1. So, isang column lang siya. Tapos, append. So, ibig sabihin, isasama natin siya with x2 natin. And then, yung y2 natin, reshape lang natin with dimension m2, 1. So, number of rows and number of column, which is 1. Then, define din natin yung theta natin. So, dito, yung theta natin is, ginawa mo nating zeros. So, gumawa tayo ng array ng zeros with 9, 1 dimension. So, number of row and number of column. Kapag nira natin, may error siya. Time siya paliguturan. Timestamp. Bakit siya ngayon nag-error? Let me check something. Ating code. Object has no attribute values. Okay. I think i-rerun ko muna si PF natin. Ayaw niyang gumana. Okay. If nagka-error sa unang part, so magkaka-error din sa second part. Sunod-sunod na yun, magkaka-error dito. So, ipapakita ko na lang yung una kong nagawang output sa inyo. Share ko na lang ito para makita nyo lang, ma-amaze kayo na kaya natin mag-produce ng hypothesis function. I-share ko ito sa inyo. There. So, kanina, di ba, nagka-error tayo dito sa part na to. For some reason, hindi ko pa ma-identify yung error or yung bugs sa code. So, ayusin ko na lang later para ma-send ko sa inyo yung notebook. So, ito yung lumabas. Yan, ito is yung average na yan. Yan yung average ng values for Tmin, Tmax, and hanggang sa kay relative humidity. And ito naman yung standard deviation. Tapos, ito yung normalized data natin. First 5 normalized data. So, ngayon, nung nira natin si cost function, nung nira natin to, so dapat wala siyang error dyan. Which doon sa aking pinakita is may error. So, kinopy ko actually to. I don't know kung bakit siya hindi pa rin or meron pa rin error. So, alamin ko na lang later on. Then, nag-define tayo dito sa part na to ng para i-compute yung ating cost function. So, ang tawag natin sa function na yun is compute cost, where yung parameters is x, y, and theta. So, dinefine muna natin dito sa loob ng function natin where yung m is yung length ng ating y, which is yung dengue. So, kahit naman yung x variables, pwede rin naman natin ilagay dyan as length. Kasi same lang naman lahat sila ng length or number of rows. Tapos yung predictions natin is x dot theta. So, ito yung natin, ito yung hypothesis function natin, 'di ba? Yung kay x tapos kay theta transpose kanina. So dito naka-dot siya. Pwede mo pa lang i-express yung x cross theta transpose as theta transpose multiplied by x. And yung square errors, which is ito mismo yung ating cost function. Yung predictions natin, ito yung hypothesis function h of x minus y raised to 2. And then, i-return natin ito. Hindi, correction pala, hindi ito yung cost function, ito mismo. So, 1 divided by 2m, tapos yung sum ng square error natin. Then, kapag nirun natin yan, so, assume natin na walang error, ito yung, then, tapos pag niran natin itong part na to, itong line 1 ng input 37, ito yung lalabas. That means na yung malaki yung, yung difference nung accepted value doon sa ating experimental value. That means na malaki yung error. So, yung hypothesis na mapoproduce natin is possibly is hindi masyadong accurate. Hindi niya ma-estimate yung ating dengue cases. So, balik ulit tayo doon sa ating slide. Last topic for this discussion. Malapit na. So, for the last topic, gradient descent, ang goal niya naman is i-minimize natin yung error na yun. So, it is an optimization algorithm for finding a local minimum of a differential function. So, ang purpose niya is to find the values of functions parameters, which is yung theta natin, that minimizes a cost function as far as possible. So, para maging malapit yung, or para minimize natin yung cost function, papalitan niya pala yung value ng ating parameters, yung theta natin, para yung error is mabawasan or lumiit, minimize. So, pwede natin siyang express as this. So, itong equation na to is, kung ilalagay natin na yan sa Python is, ang mangyayari dyan is repeat until convergence. So, a loop siya na as long as yung cost function natin is hindi pa or malaki pa, mataas pa, hanapin niyo yung possible na value ni cost function na mas maliit as soon as possible. So, next. So, itong dot equal is yung Walrus operator. Ang ibig sabihin lang yan is si theta sub j equals theta sub j minus nakalimutan ko. Minus alpha and yung derivative, partial derivative ng ating cost function. Where cost function is a function of yung ating theta parameters. Nakadepende kung ilang variables ang gusto nating i-process. Tapos yung alpha naman is yung tinatawag nating learning rate or yung step. And then yung alpha, tama ba alpha? Itong part na to, ayokong sabihin na mali. So, partial derivative, sorry. So, ito is pwede ring tawaging derivative lang if meron lang tayong theta na isa. So, nagkakaroon ng partial derivative if marami tayong variables. So, I think hindi pa familiar yung first years dito. Pero ma-encounter nyo rin to. And then, yun nga, yung cost function, yung J, open and close parentheses with theta values or theta parameters. And then, pwede natin, itong partial derivative ng cost function natin ay pwede rin ma-express as this expression. So, if gusto niyo malaman kung paano ito na-derive, pwede niyo as advertisement lang, pwede niyo i-check yung machine learning sa Coursera by Andrew Nang. So, ipapakita niya doon kung paano ito na-derive. And also, ipapakita niya doon, i-discuss niya doon actually yung linear regression na dinidiscuss ko ngayon. So, for the last part, so hindi ko na i-copy yung, isasend ko na lang yung notebook later na corrected na yung codes. Papakita ko na lang kung ano yung magiging output. There. So, dito, nag-define tayo ng function ulit. Tapos, ang tawag natin, gradient descent. So, with parameters x, y, theta, alpha, which is yung step natin, tapos yung number of iterations. So, by the way, yung alpha, di ba, step. And Next, define din natin yung M equals length. And yung J underscore history is empty list. So mamaya, ilalagyan ng for loop na to, yung list na yan, ng value na naran niya. So yung for I in range, kung ano yung number of iterations na gusto yung ilagay. Yung number of iterations is number of steps. Nakadepende yung length ng step natin sa value ng alpha natin. And every step, lumiliit, hopefully, yung cost function or yung value ng cost function natin. So imagine niyo yung gradient descent as, nasa bundok ka. Tapos, nasa tuktok ka ng bundok na yun. Then, yung alpha, yung step mo. Tapos, yung number of iterations is yung number of steps na gagawin mo para ma-reach mo yung ground level. So, si cost function is yung height nung yung location mo, di ba, na yung kung saan ka na-locate is yung nasa tuktok, di ba? So, yung cost function dun is yung height from ground level hanggang doon sa tuktok kung saan ka nakalocate. So, yung step, yung magsasabi kung, yung number of iterations, yung magsasabi kung ilang steps yung gagawin mo para makababa ka. And yung alpha is yung laki or haba nung step na gusto mong gawin para mabilis kang makababa doon. So, si gradient descent ang bahala makahanap ng pinaka-minimized na o yung value na masasabing maliit para masabing yung hypothesis function natin is accurate. So, dito, again, ito yung hypothesis function natin. And then yung error natin. So, remember kanina, di ba, yung napakita kong derivation. So, ito yung x sub I doon sa right part. Then, ito yung hypothesis function. Ito yung partial derivative ng cost function natin. Tapos, yung alpha divided by m. Tapos, yung error, which is yung partial derivative. And yung theta naman is, dinedefine natin, or itong part na to, is actually yung theta equals theta minus, so theta minus descent equals theta. So, yan lang yung ibig sabihin niya. Then, yung, ito yung mag-i-input ng data natin dito sa ating empty list. And then, i-return niyo yung theta natin. So, now, doon na tayo sa kung paano nakuha si hypothesis function. So, na-define na natin yung theta, yung cost function, and itong dalawang to is parameters or variables or independent variables where si gradient, yung function natin na gradient descent is nakadepend. So, with x2 na dinefine natin kanina, dito, and yung y2, tapos yung theta natin, and itong 0.1 is yung ating alpha. So, yung x2, which is x, y, y2, theta, theta2, alpha, which is yung step natin, and yung number of iterations. So, ilang beses ito, yung iterations na yan, yung magsasabi kung ilang step ang gagamitin natin para maabot natin yung ground level ng bundok na yun. And then, saka natin pinrint ngayon si hypothesis function. So, dito, yung theta 2, which is yung matrix ng theta natin. Tapos yung values dyan is nakapalog dyan yung theta sub 0, theta sub 1, hanggang theta sub 7. So, first value is nakalocate sa first row, first column. Tapos 7 naman since meron tayong 7 variables. And then string, so theta, nakalocate naman siya sa second row and first column. And ganun din sa iba. Tapos nung nira natin, nakapagpalabas tayo ng hypothesis function. So for theta sub 0, ito yung value niya. For theta sub 1, ito yung value niya. For theta sub 2, ito yung value. And so on. Now, kapag kunwari, nag-input tayo ng value ng T-min as 80.0, ganun. Tapos, for T average temperature is 30 something and so on. So, kapag na-input lahat natin yung variable or values ng variables na dyan, makakapagpalabas tayo ng h of x. Yun ngayon yung ating estimated dengue cases. So, sana na-appreciate niyo yung code kahit na hindi nagamit. Or at least napakita ko yung kung paano siya nangyayari. No, so, yun na. Tapos na tayo. So, as a summary ng ating presentation today, so meron na-discuss natin yung pandas, 2_8 time, and also yung set_index. Also, nagamit or na-discuss din natin yung matplotlib.pyplot, specifically yung plp.subplots. So, nakapag-plot tayo, nakapag-produce tayo ng subplots using yung data natin. Then, yung linear regression. So, hindi natin nagamit yung support ng cost function gradient descent. So, bibigay ko na lang yung naayos na code. So, dito na-discuss natin yung feature normalization na magagamit natin para mapabilis yung steps ni gradient descent. And then, yung cost function. So, thank you for listening. I hope na may nakuha naman kayo kahit papaano sa aking discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rosenel, for that great and informative presentation. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, apologies for that. My mic wasn't working. If you have any questions, skip one. If you have any questions, please click the raise hand button and wait for us to recognize you before opening your mics. You can also type down questions in the chat box, or to those watching from Facebook Live, you may comment your questions.
Yes. Yes. So are there any questions? Yes. Actually, Ate Rosenel's presentation, of course, is really informative. I remember in my senior high school, research, we use the, we use the linear regression. So, of course, I would also like to try it. So I think there is no more questions. So again, thank you, Ms. Rosenel, for your informational discussion. I think we have we have a question from the chat box. So I will read it. Good day po. Ask ko lang po, yung computational research group po ba, independent research group po ba siya or affiliated po siya ng college or ng university po?
Okay. Luther. Actually, independent siya. So, nabuo yung group nung si Sir, si Python 1.0, yung nagkaroon ng webinar, si Sir Nene. So, yung mga tawag dito? Nakalimutan yung term. Recruit. I think recruit ang tamang term. So, niyaya ako nung kasama ko na unang nag-PM kay Sir Nene na sumali. So, niyaya niya ako na, gusto mo bang sumali sa group ni Sir Nene? Then, after that, minessage ko sa Sir and sabi niya, you're in na. Agad. So, mga pa lang kami doon eh. Mga 4 lang kami. Then, unti-unti dahil nagtanong-tanong kami sa ibang freshmen na gustong sumali privately, then yun, nabuo yung research group na PUP Computational Research. Pero hindi siya affiliated sa PUP.
Okay, yeah. So again, I think that's all. Yeah, yes. So now to show our greatest gratitude for the time and effort of our speakers, let's proceed with the awarding of certificates. So first, I would like to invite our Fightans workshop speakers, Mr. Renish Simon, Mr. Kersey Andal, Ms. Ariana Brosas, Mr. Steven Udaunto, Ms. Armielyn Obinguar, Mr. Daniel Vincent Navalta, and Ms. Rosenel Dahipon. So I will read the content of the certificate. So Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Science, Department of Physical Sciences, the PUP Physics Society awards this certificate of appreciation to Mr. Renish Simon for imparting to the society their expertise in Python and its application in the field in the 5-day workshop entitled Code Up, a Python and LaTeX workshop. So thank you for sparing us some of your valuable time, and the society salutes you for your undying efforts. So given and signed on the second day of October 2021. So to be signed by Mr. Benedict James Buckley, the President of the PUP Physics Society, Professor Cyrus Ayala, the Advisor of the PUP Physics Society, and Dr. Lincoln Bautista, the Dean of College of Science. So I would also like to call on Mr. Cyrus Ayala, Mr. Benedict James Buckley, and Mr. Paulo Medina for the photo op.
Game na ba? May nagpipicture ba?
Take a picture.
Pabilang naman para para alam ko kung kanina ako ningiti.
Hello, ano to? On the count of three, please smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
Salamat po sa cert.
Next,
Okay. Ay, sige. Thank you, Ceremonies po at group ni Sir Nene, no? Especially kay Casey, kay Ariana, kay Steven, kay Rosenel, at kay Vincent, Navalta sa pag-share nitong fight na to. Tagang
Sir Sai.
alam niyo na. Oo.
Sir Sai.
Yes.
Sir, wait lang po. Magpo-photo po sana sa cada individual speaker kasi with their certificates.
Okay, sige. Buti. Thank you,
Sige po.
DJ.
Salamat po.
Pasensya na, na-excite lang ako. Pasensya na, na-excite lang. Apology. Sige.
okay, so that aside, there's already there.
Okay. Hello.
So next, we would like to invite Kersey Andal.
1, 2, 3. Okay na po. Okay na po.
So next po, we would like to award Ms. Ariana.
Please smile on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile.
Thank you.
Next,
We would like to call Mr. Udaondo. Please turn on your camera.
On the count of three, please smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
So next po, we would like to call on Miss Armielyn.
On the count of three, please smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
Next, we would like to call Mr. Navalta.
On the count of three, please smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
And lastly, we would also like to call on Miss Rosenel, Dahipon.
On the count of three, please smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
And yes, po, Sir Cyrus. Yes po. Sir, excuse me po, naka-mute po.
Mute.
Okay na.
Yan. Sorry. Those are have used double device for the day. But anyway, kung may appreciation or pasalamat sa nag-train about this Python, especially sa Nene Simon. Siyempre, ito yung laking tulong. At the same time, na-train na rin yung kanya advisee like sa Casey, sila Ariana, sila Armielyn, si Nanyet, Rosenel. Kasi at the same time, ako yung advisor at the same time sa case nila. Yun. Thank you sa train na ito sa Python. Actually, aside for Python and LaTeX, thank you ang ating train natin is nag-explore tayo kasi some of the student, hindi lang physics po, pati ibang program sa CS, ay pinapanood nila actually. Oo. Kasi kaya good na tayo ay na broadcast natin, not only in best physics but sa some student of follow science, especially in math and applied math na hinangan din ng Python. So yun, thank you po sa train na ito. Naway kayo sa mga best physics student na may ma-apply nyo itong computational research na ito. Ito yung masasabi natin new normal research na actually sa best physics program, no? Okay, yun lang po. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Yes, thank you po, Sir Cyrus. So we would also like to call on Sir Nene. Okay.
Yun, marami po salamat sa Physics Society for accommodating us. And Sir Cyrus, thank you very much for advising sa PSOC, no? Para ma-organize din to, kailangan din ng mentoring from you, Sir Cyrus. And of course, sa College of Science. So we thank College of Science for letting us conduct this workshop. So kanina maraming salamat po sa nagtanong, no? May nakalagay PUP Physics, PUP Computational Physics Group. So naglagay lang tayo ng PUP doon para ma-identify lang na mga PUP students yung mga nandun sa group yun, no? Pero it's not really kumbaga ay project ng CS or ng PUP. But this is a project ng mga students ng nasa PUP. Okay? So parang gumawa tayo ng research group para matulungan yung mga students sa paggawa ng thesis research nila, and at the same time para mapalawak yung research and science sa community natin, no? And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you guys to join the computational physics group. Kung natuwa kayo dun sa mga nakita ninyo rito sa workshop, and kung gusto ninyong mag-research ng something about computational physics, you are invited to join. So message nyo lang yung any members of the computational physics group. So hintayin nyo lang kami mag-reply, no? So ito mga students natin, kwago yata itong mga ito. Minsan kahit madaling araw nagre-reply ang mga yun. Oo, so yun. And thank you so much. Gusto ko lang din i-appreciate yung mga students ko na mini-mentor sa computational physics group. Thank you so much for agreeing in conducting this workshop. So last year, ako lang mag-isa yung nagsalita, no? And malinaw naman yun na we conducted that para makagawa tayo ng isang research group at mapaunlad pa natin yung research sa PUP. So as an alumni member of PUP, nakikita ko na ito yung contribution ko sa kanya, no, sa ating sintang paaralan. At thank you so much pala, Sir Cyrus, no? Meron pa nga pala tayong applied math at saka math sa PUP, pati statistics, right? Meron pa tayong statistics.
Yes, sir. Opo, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Opo. Yes, sir. Yes po.
Okay.
Yes,
last
po.
time, ang sabi ko, kung meron kayong chem friends or biology majors, na pwede din sila sumali. Baka nalimutan.
Yes, sir.
Meron yata tayong applied mathematics tsaka tawag dito, statistics. So they're also welcome to join. So kung nanonood man sila from their homes, yan. Para mas maging interdisciplinary yung ating
Yes po. Yes,
katulad
sir.
ng ginagawa nila nung student natin, no, Sir Cyrus, sila Rosenel, tsaka si Daniel.
Yes, sir. Instant content. Involving regression. Yes, sir.
So para mas mapalawak natin yung natin,
Opo.
interdisciplinary na research.
Yes.
So yun, maraming salamat po, Sir Cyrus, Physics Society, PUP, College of Science, sa pag-accommodate dito sa workshop na to. And guys, please let us know kung anong comments nyo, paano namin mapapaganda tong workshop na to. Kasi ako, ang hiling ko ay lagi nang merong ganito, no? for our freshies, for our...
Yes po, sir.
Maraming salamat. Hindi po.
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Thank you so much po.
So yun. Back to you, Sir President.
So again, thank you to all our speakers for imparting your expertise and knowledge on Python and LaTeX. I'm sure all of us have learned something, and I hope that many will be interested in learning more about these topics going forward.
So to formally end the program, we would like to invite the President of the PUP Physics Society, Mr. Benedict James Bucklig, for the closing remarks.
Programming isn't about what you know, it's about what you can figure out. This is according to Chris Pine, the author of Learn to Python. Personally, hindi talaga ako magaling mag-program, but I've been fascinated by it ever since. I've tried reading books, pero wala talaga ako na-gets masyado. Kasi, ewan ko, baka, siguro ako lang. But, ayun. As I tried learning, I was so lucky to have people who know programming, my friends, ganun. Kasi little by little, I can ask them about the stuff na need aralin sa ganito ganyan. And given this, hindi lang ako yung may ganung experience. We believe that everyone should have the same na meron din nagtuturo sa kanila since not everything is best na makita sa book. Kailangan talaga may mas maganda pa may nag-explain, ganun. Thus, it ignited our event for this week, which is Code Up, a Python and LaTeX workshop, which we really hope na naka-help in giving you a start to a journey to greater heights, given these weapons highly used in our technological world today. As this workshop ends, I would like to say thank you to all our speakers who gave their time and resources to give us the tools we need to further our studies better. We're really glad to have you on board po with us and maraming salamat po with all the guidance and everything na binigay niyo from start to finish. Maraming salamat po. To our participants, I hope na this workshop gave you something to build upon from. I hope you could apply the lessons from this workshop in your future works. So, if there's an avenue to apply what you've learned, gamitin nyo siya. Just continue on practicing and one day it will all be worth it. So, if kunwari may nagpa-essay sa inyo, gamitin nyo lang yon. Kapag may researches kayo, tapos gusto nyo mag-data analysis, gamitin nyo lang yung mga natutunan nyo. And, in the near future, at least hindi na kayo kumakapa, diba? If magagamit nyo siya. So, ayun.
Maglayan.
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 Maglayan. Navigating into the prison of possibilities.
So, ayun. To the people behind this event, isang malaking thank you rin, syempre to the officers and the members who gave their time then to make sure this event is successful. So, as an ending note, please learn more about programming and tech. Hopefully, what we've learned this past few days can also be extended to different industries that we are and are aiming for. Let this be a catalyst to help us make significant changes to the world we're living in. So ayun, hindi ko na rin papatagalin pa. That's it for me. I would like to formally close this event and I hope we can see each other more sa next events ng the PUP Physics Society. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat and God bless.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful insights. And now we would like to invite everyone to open their camera for documentation.
Before we start our documentation, kindly turn on your cameras. So let me start for the first page. On the count of three. When I say smile, please smile. So 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, second page. 1, 2, 3, smile. Ayan. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Thank you.
So also we would like to inform every participant to answer the evaluation form, for this is a requirement for you to receive your certificate of attendance. Okay, so to wrap up the program, let us all sing the PUP hymn or himno ng PUP. So again, we would like to remind you to please answer the evaluation form as we would want to hear from you. Okay, so again, Franchesca.
Again, we would like to express our appreciation to the speakers and participants for your interest, support, and active participation in CodeUp, a Python and LaTeX workshop.
And of course, how can we forget? We would like to express our sincerest gratitude to all the organizers, the Execom of the PUP Physics Society for your hard work and dedication. So congratulations, everyone, and thank you, PSOC. You guys are the best. Thank you po. Have a great day ahead.